All right. Salute, salute, salute. Here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Saturday afternoon. An emergency live stream edition of KnicksFanTV presented by BetUS Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KnicksFanTV. We have a blockbuster trade to talk about. Our guy Jay from New Jersey set the tone last night. He said, CP and Alex, where's this thing going? And Leon answered his prayers. RJ out, Quickley out. OG Anunoby is headed to the Garden. We needed a wing. We got a wing. But let's talk about it, man, because I was as stunned as anybody. So this is a show to do that. The number one show for the fans, by the fans, is on and popping. Hit that like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Call us up, 657-383-1509, or you could hit us up on the Knicks Fan TV Discord, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. Bro, completely stunned when we got the news, man. A lot of people, my phone was blowing up. CP, where you at? Where you at? We were at the SNY studio, me, Macri, and Dexter recording our year-end wrap-up, and the news came across the news wire, so we got held up over there. This is crazy. I mean, let me just start here. The Knicks have traded for OG Anunoby. They traded RJ Barrett, they traded Immanuel Quickley, and they traded a second-round pick. They get OG Anunoby from Toronto, Precious Achiuwa, and Malachi Flynn as part of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, couple things. We needed a wing.
Yep.
Right? Let's just put that out there. We needed three-point efficiency. We needed a wing. You bring in a guy that shoots 37, 38% from three, an NBA all-defensive player candidate annually.
Yep.
A guy that can guard multiple positions. A guy that can help cover the weaknesses for Jalen and Julius. These are your two pillars now that you are building around. This is it. This is your core two. And so what you needed to pair around them matters. And to get OG Anunoby for what they got him for, I think it's a good deal. Because you only gave up a second-round pick. The Quickley contract situation was tenuous. You didn't know, is he staying? Is he going? Are they at risk of losing him for nothing? Maybe the Knicks were considering that as well. And you still keep your war chest for another move. A lot of fans were down on this because they felt, there's a Quickley hive. Yes, there's an RJ hive that didn't want to give up the homegrown player. My reaction to that is, no, this is not the star. This is not the star player that you're hoping to land. This is probably not the star player that you were hoping to put two young players in Quickley and RJ in for. However, I think we have to reprogram ourselves and take away from just who's the star that's going to save everything. Who's the star? This team has a lot of holes, guys. The shooting is not where it needs to be. The defense is nowhere near where it needs to be, especially with Mitch out. And what have we been saying for a while? Your three best players can't be your three worst defenders, or three of your worst defenders on the team. How many times have we been saying the RJ and Julius thing has to get solved? One of them is going to go. We saw what this organization thought about RJ Barrett when they were ready to ship him off for Spider. Now, that's a better player, but it should tell you that he was far from an untouchable player and that they were not high on him.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the inconsistent play, the inconsistent defense, the inconsistent shooting. You're shooting 25% from three this month. It was tough. So I get it. The Quickley thing, we talked about in the contract situation. You're missing a big hole. It's a big hole in the lineup. Don't get me wrong. I'm Quickley hive. I'm going to miss both these guys. It was a big hole. But you had to give to get. And the way I'm positioning this OG trade is like this. And I said it on SNY. The reprogramming has to come in a sense that it might take a couple more tweaks to this roster to get it right. We always talked about this team has a ceiling. This group has a ceiling. The internal development that we were looking for, it's more aspirational, but not reality. They were not going to grow into contender status just with their homegrown guys and with Brunson and with Julius. You had to go out and get help. And so if it means taking a step back to take 2 forward because you've now addressed a piece of need, you're going to have to do that. And so that's why I'm signing off on the deal, man. I love RJ. That's my guy. I'm happy for him and his family to go home. I'm happy for Quick to get an opportunity to shine. He's Obi situation all over again. But this was a need for the Knicks. You got to go get you need defense, man. You need defense.
I was stunned. You know, when our producer Daniel sent us in the chat, I was like, is this a real Woj account? I was like, are we actually doing a deal with the team that we're suing right now? I guess that doesn't matter because business still gets done in the NBA. The way I look at it, man, I like OG Anunoby. I think you hit a lot of the talking points. You talk about defense, you get defense. Offensively, you're upgrading over RJ. Look, he's shooting 37% from 3 right now on high volume, 6 attempts per game. You're talking about a guy who has a 58.4 effective field goal percentage, close to 60% true shooting percentage. So you're getting good offense in return for RJ, who's been lackluster this season, man. Let's just keep it a bean. Because at the beginning, it started looking like he had a good turnaround to his career, but now after the migraine, he's been down. Defensively, he's up and down. Offensively, he's up and down. You need somebody a little bit more consistent. OG is more consistent in both those departments. You're not asking him to be the number 1, number 2 option. I think he could fit well as a number 3 option on this team. So I like, in a vacuum, I like OG Anunoby's pairing with the Knicks. I just wish that we had Mitchell Robinson right now, because I think when you have OG and Mitch, that's a lethal defensive juggernaut right there, just because OG can switch 1 through 4 easy. You know, you want to talk about throwing somebody on Tatum right now, you can throw him on Tatum. You want to say you want to reprieve Julius of somebody on Giannis, not saying he's going to stop Giannis, but you can do that now because you have somebody that's switchable. On some nights, OG can play the 5. He can't be like a Drew Holiday in that regard where he can give bigs a problem because he understands how to use leverage. The only thing I'll say is this, CP.
Yeah.
As much as I like OG Anunoby on this team, I get you got to move RJ. The Quickley thing really bothers me, though, because I feel like this is where it bothers me, because you could have done this for a deal like Donovan Mitchell last season. If you, I don't even know what the terms of that is. Sure, you have your war chest. You need to add more pieces around it. You get your wing, but you could have included him in a Donovan Mitchell like deal. You know, at the beginning of the season, I said I did not like that he didn't get the extension because he's a homegrown player. He has shown that he's been able to develop while being a New York Knick, and I didn't think the Knicks did him justice by not giving him an extension, because I did want to see him on this team for a long term. You could have played him more next to Brunson. He didn't. You didn't do that, and it's interesting that for a guy who's, and I know it's business, whatever, but for a guy who's actually done a lot for the Knicks, who was your 3rd best player last season, I get that you have to give up something, because it was never going to just be RJ alone for OG Anunoby. You had to then throw in a lot of picks. But I would have liked to have seen Immanuel Quickley stay on this team, because he's important, man. 3-point shooting, another guy who can, you know, create off the dribble. We now give up on that. Now it's just Brunson and Dante, okay? And that was the issue we had going into the playoffs last year. That's the only thing I don't like about this deal. But I understand you have to give up. Quickley was the main part of the deal. Let's just keep, that's the real thing. They're like, we're going to take RJ, but we really want IQ. That's really what the Raptors said in this deal to me. That's how I look at it as. But I also want to tell fans, because I got pushback, CP, when I said, oh, they got Dante DiVincenzo. This makes Quickley expendable. I didn't like when he didn't get a contract extension and fans were telling me, hey, they still got a plan for Quickley. I'm like, nah, I don't see it happening. You just did 2 offseason moves that said Quickley was expendable. And you include him in a deal last season.
The Dante thing made him expendable, man. We talked about it. And again, expendable doesn't mean easy to lose. It just means that you're going to add some depth, and if you lose him, you still have a little bit left. It's hard losing Quick. He's very important for them. He's Mr. Fourth Quarter for them. We talked about how much they needed him last night in their loss to Orlando, how much they needed him in the loss to OKC Thunder. You're placing a big hole in your rotation. Who's going to be that playmaker, that spark off the bench? Deuce McBride, Quentin Grimes, step on up. This is tough, man. This is tough. But, again, you have to pay to play. And this is not the Mitchell situation. A lot of fans are saying, well, you pulled back on RJ and Quick for Donovan. Now you put them in a deal for OG. You're taking out a whole lot of context because the parameters of a Mitchell trade was not just RJ and RJ Barrett. It was RJ. It was Quick. It could have been Obi. It could have been Grimes. And like 4 or 5 picks. First-round picks. Big difference. That is a big difference. Masai, to me, let the Knicks off the hook. They took just a second-round pick out of this thing. Now you still have more to play with. Again, we got to reprogram. Stop looking for the Embiid one shot, one kill, the Giannis one shot, one kill. They're not coming here. So in the meantime, you have to tinker. You have to tinker because it was going to come anyway. Right? Like after they went through this season by being a first or second round exit, they were going to make moves to tinker with the roster. You're not just going to sit here and wait for the guy. You got to go out there and make moves. The Julius RJ thing, they were going to split those guys up. The Quickley thing, him sitting behind Brunson, knowing that him and his camp won a bigger role for him, it was a 50-50 play on whether or not they were going to keep him. You get what I'm saying? It's tough.
I get what you're saying.
And as we, this is another thing that I said on SNY when I talk about tinkering. Look at the Celtics. Look at the Celtics in a number of ways. They've had this Tatum and Brown core for what, 6 years? 6+. Tatum was first, Brown. They had it for about 6 years. Look at the pieces that they surrounded those guys with over the years. Some worked, some didn't. For a multitude of reasons, right? They had Kyrie in there. They put Kemba in there. Horford's on his second tour. Now they bring in Porzingis. Now they bring in Jrue Holiday. All while competing in the East. They made it to the finals. Made it to the conference finals last year. But still not being patient. Still looking to add to that group. And so this is what this Knicks team has to do now. Stop waiting for the knight in shining armor and keep addressing your needs. The defense was never going to win anything substantial with Brunson, Randall, Barrett at your core. You had no wings, you have no front court depth, and your shooting is still up and down. You've got to address that. And it may take a little bit longer to do so, and you're going to have to sacrifice guys, man. What have I been saying for a couple of years now? Everybody's not going to be along for the ride, bro. Everybody's not going to be along for the ride.
Hear that point. I totally hear that point. I think some people are misunderstanding what I'm saying about the IQ portion. I get that's not multiple first-round picks. I get all that stuff. I don't think you understand that. I don't think people understand that. You traded IQ, probably one of your more prized, more valuable players that you had on this team that was trade value, that had a lot of trade value behind him. And now what do you go get? You get OG Anunoby, who's a fine role player. Don't get me wrong about that. But now you're talking about the subsequent moves that you got to do to tinker. Who are you now trading afterwards to create that has that type of value? You're talking about you trading a guy who was second place in 6th Man of the Year voting to go get somebody like OG Anunoby. It's not that we're not just trading a player. We're trading a good player who's still young, who did that in his 3rd season, by the way. And it's fine for me to be aggravated that giving up a highly valuable player just to get a solid role player who fits a need that what we need on this team. Like I said, I like OG Anunoby. I like the fit with this team. But you could have used Quickley in another deal, in a bigger deal. I get you have to make moves. You got to tinker with this lineup. I get it. But it's clear as day now, man. It's clear as day. It is Brunson, Randall here to stay, and they're trying to figure out how to make that duo work. That is clearly the writing on the wall. There's no changing that, okay? So for anyone who's like, you don't like Randall, you don't like Brunson for whatever reason, that's who this team is building around right now. That is who they are building around right now. My question is, what's that subsequent move? Because you're not going to go get – I will get the rest of the roster, and it's like you have good players, but they're filling needs now for what this team is. You're not getting rid of Dante. You're not getting rid of Hart, okay? Those guys are going to stay. You know Brunson Randall's going to stay. And then it's just like, who is the next player on this team to go make a deal?
We got to wait, man. We got to wait for it to unfold. This is what I'm saying. We can't just look at this thing as – who's the one person that's going to take? you just got to build this thing and keep pushing the ball forward. You have your versatile wing defender. That is important. That is critical in this league. You can't keep going into these matchups undersized. This is why you had the situation that you had in OKC in the fourth quarter where Tibbs is like, oh, man, I got to go with a bigger size because OKC's bringing in some taller guys, more length. This is why you have that issue, because you don't have a true wing on your team. And if they were going to go out there, if they are going to go out there and get a Donovan Mitchell in the offseason, which I still think is a possibility, then RJ and Quickley were, again, going to be expendable because one of those guys was going to go in that deal for him. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So
I get that.
It's got to be looked at as chess moves and not just, is this OG move itself going to take this team to the next level? We can't look at it like that.
But that's the whole point of my thinking. That's the whole point of my. It's like, what is the next? That's what I'm saying. What is the next? Who on this roster right now? Because now this is how I look at it as. Now you got to say Grimes has to take that next step forward if you're going to include him or make him another centerpiece.
Yeah.
Let's just look at how this roster is now playing out. Okay. You got Brunson, OG, Randall, Hart. It would obviously be Mitch if he was healthy. That's 4. Is it still Dante? Is it still Grimes? Do you go back to Grimes now to add even more defense? Who's running that second unit? Is it going to be Grimes that runs that second unit?
It's a lot of holes.
Who's running with Grimes? It's now Josh Hart. Okay, so you got Hart, Grimes, and then what else?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where
I'm
looking. So now you're telling me Deuce McBride is going to get the bump up. I know we got Precious. He's going to be playing. I don't know about Malachi Flynn.
Yeah.
Because when I'm talking to Will Lou, that's an up and down career. That guy's been very disappointing up there. I don't expect him to come here and then start to get major minutes. So I'm expecting Deuce. Yeah. And we know Deuce's offensive limitations. He's going to get more reps, though. Like, it's not like this is just a one move and saying we're now just thrust. It's going exactly to what you're saying, CP.
Yeah.
You got to make – there's subsequent moves happening after this because it's not the last move.
Cool.
But you look at the rest of the roster and saying, who else do I move to go get that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, listen, man, I'll tell you what we are saying. This is a packed house right now, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast. We got over 5,000 people in here. KnicksFanTV is rocking. The number one show for the fans, by the fans, is rocking. They threw the bat signal up at 12 o'clock. They were looking for us, man. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at with the live show? I said, stay patient. I'm rapid fire answering text. Stay patient. We coming on. We coming to the number one show for the fans, by the fans. Call us up with your takes. 657-383-1509, or hit us up on the KnicksFanTV Discord and do us a favor right now. We want to break the record. We want 6,000 people in here. Share this video on your Twitter feed. Share it on your Facebook feed. Share it on Reddit, wherever you guys do your social medias. Share it right now. It goes a long way. Also, hit that like button for your boys and subscribe to the channel. I want to shout out a $100 super chat from our guy Michael Parker, number one fan of the show. He says, I'll take it. Number one fan of the show, man. $100 super chat by my guy, Michael Parker. For you people in the chat, leave an emoji in the chat, man. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What are you guys thinking about this? Is it tomatoes? Is it fire? Let us know, man. Al, real quick, I want to get our guest in on the line. He's pressed for time, and I want to get him in here because he's covered, especially the Raptors, quite a take on OG, on the deal, and ask a couple questions, man. He is Esfandiar Barahani, formerly of Raptors Republic, NBA reporter, and also a member of Pro Hoops Writers. Esfandiar, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I hope you guys are good as well.
Yeah.
I was just listening into the little bit of that show just now. Appreciate you guys having me on, man. Big day for both teams.
Big day, man. I mean, from your perspective, what are the Knicks getting in OG Anunoby, man? How did you react to this trade?
Man, I actually sort of agree with what both of you guys are saying in terms of it being a stepping stone into what the future of this team is. You look at the way the league is structured now, and to your point, it's all about kind of taking those next steps, working and tinkering around the edges to be able to fine-tune your roster to make it make more sense. You know what you have in Jalen Brunson, star point guard, going to be an all-star, potentially going to be an all-NBA player. Randall has been good this year as well, maybe going to be an all-NBA player, potentially an all-star. And I think what you have is a foundation that makes a lot of sense towards building towards a contender. And you now have OG who, in my opinion, fits like a glove in terms of what that team needs. I mean this with no disrespect whatsoever. What you guys wanted RJ Barrett to be is what OG Anunoby actually is. And I mean that with the most respect, because RJ is obviously.
Did we lose him? I hope we didn't lose him. You still there? We lost him. All right, hopefully he calls back in. We had a little bit of technical difficulty there on the line. Let me tell him to call back in and check in there. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let me check in with SFanDR real quick and see if he can call back in. Read some more super chats here while we wait. James Ruggiero, $5 super chat, says Knicks can never stick with their young talent. This is a horrible trade. RJ and Quick will torture the Knicks for the rest of their career. OG is mid. Okay. All right, so that's James's take on it. Shout out to Mr. Dones. He says, gonna miss IQ. I agree with Alex. Wish we could see this new lineup with Block Ness in the mix. Shout out to Mr. Dones. Okay, let's get to SFanDR. SFanDR, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of from what I was saying, I think what people in New York expected out of RJ, that consistency as a 3-and-D type of player, a guy who can guard multiple positions, a guy who can knock down shots when asked to, that is what you were getting in OG. Throughout his career, he's been a consistent 38 to 40% shooter on high volume, over 5 to 6 attempts over the last couple of years. He's also a great defender. That's what he's most well known for. One of the most versatile defenders in the NBA, in my opinion, as far as him being able to guard multiple positions. We throw that label out very, very easily on certain players, the fact that they can guard multiple positions. OG, with his size, his strength, and his length, actually can guard multiple positions. There was a stretch last year where one night he's guarding Donovan Mitchell, one night he's guarding Joel Embiid, the other night he's guarding Jason Tatum. And I think that shows you the strength of what he can bring on the defensive end for this team. The Knicks have been awesome defensively this year. Obviously, missing Mitchell Robinson this year is going to hurt them. But for the most part, I think if you look towards the future and assuming that you guys re-sign OG, it's going to look really, really good defensively with this nucleus. And you're building something that I think inevitably at some point in time will help you take that next step into a contender.
You want to jump in?
So what do you think of the Raptors getting IQ and RJ for that team? Like, how do you see them moving forward? Like, do you see IQ being the starter and replacing Dennis Schroeder? Where do you see RJ sliding into the rotation for the Raptors?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think both those guys will end up being starters for this team. I'm interested to see the RJ proponent in this and how he fits into all this, to be honest with you, just because, he has been inconsistent in the shooting department, and he's had seasons and stretches where he has shot the ball well, and then he's had seasons and stretches where he hasn't shot the ball well. So depending on, on any given night, he might be your starter. And they need that floor spacing and shooting. But ultimately, I kind of like just like his extra creation juice that he provides for this team, being able to get his own shot, get downhill, et cetera, et cetera. I think the big get for the Raptors here is Quickley. I mean, they were so star-deprived. They were so guard-deprived, that they just needed to get another guard in there. And, I've probably had discussions with some of you guys on this as well. I know I've had it with a couple of other Knicks fans that, Quickley is ready to become a budding star, in my opinion. He's ready to take that next step in his career. There just wasn't the minutes available for him in New York. And from a Knicks fan perspective, if you're looking at this and rationalizing, well, man, Quickley could have been a star in New York, and OG, yes, he might help this team right now, but maybe we're letting go of a player who might end up being better in the future. You have to look at this from where the Raptors are, what direction they're headed, the opportunity that they're going to be able to give Quickley, and the opportunity that OG is going to get in New York to help this team currently. In my opinion, I think it's a win-win off the face value of it. We'll see what they'll end up being in their careers, but for the most part, Quickley needs that room to grow into whatever star he'll be. He'll get that opportunity in Toronto.
Yeah, he absolutely does, and that's why I'm happy for both players, for RJ and his family to go home, and for Quickley to get an opportunity to shine. I definitely like those players on this team. It's not an easy trade, man. It's not an easy trade. I just felt like there was going to come a time where guys were going to get sacrificed, man, and this was it. This was it.
What? It's funny you say that it's not an easy trade, because I actually think those are the types of trades that end up being pretty fair. Because from a Raptors perspective, you look at this and say, man, OG, he fits well next to Scotty Barnes. He's 26 years old. He's entering his so-and-so prime. Like, obviously, he's a unrestricted free agent. You got to pay the guy. But for the most part, you feel bad letting a guy like that go as well. And he's been a huge part of this franchise for the last, 5 or 6 years. So it's tough. And I think that's what makes this sort of a fair trade, to be honest with you.
What about with OG and the Raptors? There was talks that, were they going to re-sign him to a new deal? Is Masai going to end up keeping him? Are they going to keep Siakam? Then there was talks that, he's a Masai guy. What did you make of the Raptors moving him? Did you feel like that was an indication that he wasn't going to stay there long term?
So actually, I had a friend of the podcast, Samson Folk. He's from Raptors Republic. On the show, he mentioned that, there was actually a deal in place last deadline between the Knicks and Raptors to potentially move OG, and the Raptors balked on the offer. They decided to go a different direction. And, here we are again a year later where that trade actually eventually goes down. I think there were opportunities for them to move OG over this last year from multiple different places. Portland was a spot that came up for that 3rd overall pick. Maybe they look back at that and say, hey, maybe we should have done that. Maybe they don't. But there have been numerous kind of offers in place for OG over these last 12 months. They obviously thought that this one was maybe the best one. And to my knowledge, I think the reason the Raptors are doing this now is because they probably got an indication that OG wasn't going to be re-signing in Toronto. And, maybe New York has a better chance of re-signing him. I imagine they did this trade because they feel confident in re-signing a guy like that.
Yeah. Well, look, the switch to CAA over the summer, here we go. A lot of Knicks fans have put their tinfoil hats on when that happened. And, with the bad blood between the two teams and the lawsuit hanging, I didn't see this coming. I really didn't see it. But, hey, the CAA mafia comes through again and brings one of their own home. Spiders up next. Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
I got a question about OG's injury history because
I'm honestly excited for y'all. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just got a question. So what do you think about OG's injury history? Has he gotten over that? Because that's kind of been like, I guess, a stain on his playing career is that he's usually missed time due to some sort of ailment.
Yeah, that's a good question. You know what? To be honest with you, it's funny. If you go back and look at OG's injury history, it is some of the most ridiculous and nonsensical injuries that you'll see. He missed a couple of games this year because he cut his finger doing chores. There was another time in which he had his appendix burst in the playoffs. He's had issues with his eyes in terms of people poking him in the eye. So none of them are really issues that go back to the issues that he had in college, which was his knee. In college, it was mainly his knee issue that had him forced to be drafted 20th overall to the Raptors. That hasn't been a persistent issue, if that's what you're asking. It hasn't been anything lower body that's consistently bothered him. It's really just been these weird, out-of-nowhere injuries that have made him miss time. And I think that's sort of part of what you get with a guy like him, is like you get these like weirder injuries because he's so involved on the defensive end that he might, get hurt on a defensive play or trying to extend himself too much on a defensive play. But hey, I'm sure that's going to be something Knicks fans will love. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the injury history if I were you guys, to be honest.
There we go, man. Well, as FanDR, we definitely appreciate you coming through in tight time window. Hopefully we get to do this again a bit more thoroughly once OG makes his debut and RJ and quickly settle in Toronto. Well, let's definitely do it again, man. Thanks for the time.
Of course, man. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. Sounds good, man. Once again, that was our guy, Esfandiar Barahani. He's an NBA reporter, has covered the Raptors in depth. And this is what we do, Al. We get right on it, man. We got to get our contacts in, give the people some context on what's going on, cover our blind spots. My guy came through on the double. Definitely appreciate us, FanDR. All right, keeping the show moving. We got a lot of super chats coming in. We're going to read all of them, but we also want to give the people a chance to get their thoughts in on this matter. We are the only show that allows fans to call in and voice their opinion. No, not on a Twitter space. This is official tissue production. This is Knicks Fan TV, so make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. All right, Al, I see S on the Discord. If you have your Discord open, just read me this guy's name in full so he can go ahead and unmute his mic.
Jim, we closed it.
Oh, all right.
Let me open it back up. Give it a second. Give it a second.
I'm going to load some more people up as well. Go ahead.
All right. So we got who's waiting. So we got said S.
Yeah. I got him in the live show right now. Who's this guy?
It's the Lead Show. Is that
there we go. There we go.
It's Silico.
Silico. What's good, man? How you feeling? Let's go. Rapid fire, everybody. Rapid fire.
I'm gonna miss IQ. I'll be real, but underrated fact about this trade: Josh Hart, you're free. You don't have to play the backup 4 anymore. We got Precious to do that now.
Yeah. And that was big. That was big. Addressing the center position for now and maybe future. Again, Precious, he's not the greatest of all time, but the Mitch injury is concerning to me. Another year with Mitch being hurt and missing a big chunk of the season. Injury prone, man. It's going to happen every year. They have to think about that for the now and for the future. Go ahead.
And Julius, I better not see you shooting any more threes. Kick it out to the guy that actually shoots from the 3.
Yep.
That's really all I got to say about it. I hope you all have a blessed new year. Salute to everybody in the YouTube chat. If you need to talk hoops, join the Discord.
Join the Discord, man. This guy, he's our Discord ambassador, if you will, Al. They're always keeping the chat going on the Discord, and you get live HD callers. This is the place to be, man. Join the Discord for sure.
Hope you all have a blessed new year. I'm hopping out.
Let's go.
Love y'all.
Salute, my guy. Salute. Yeah, OG Anunoby, as you said, man, 44% accuracy from the corner 3. And he's been that way for quite some time, last 3 years. 47, 45, 44% from the corners. And so, between him and DiVincenzo, you get some advantages there. All right, keeping it pushing. Jeff, my guy Jeff J on the Discord. Let's go. Oh, hold on. Let me get to Jeff. Jeff on the Discord. Jeff, there you go. I keep losing. Hang on, Jeff. Hang on. Jeff, you there? Jeff, go once.
Yo.
Got you now. Got you. Let's go.
You can hear me?
Yep. Go ahead.
I can't slam to nobody else when they be like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because my Discord was tripping right now. But salute to CP. Salute to the Knicks Fan TV Massive.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm glad y'all are here today because I thought I woke up in an alternate reality, bro. Like I was pinching myself.
Well, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Your mic sounds like you're in an alternate reality, bro. You in the Matrix? What are you doing?
What about now? What about now?
Perfect now. Perfect.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. I didn't think my mic was plugged in. My bad.
Gotcha.
I'm throw the tomatoes. I'll get it together. Yeah, I thought I was like in an alternate reality, bro. Like I had to check the Shams tweet to make sure that the check was there. Anybody could get a check nowadays, so I had to make sure the check was there. But I'm with Alex in a sense that when we were talking about the moves that had to be made and what was going to be that next move, I think I think in a sense we thought, okay, if there's going to be a move made, it was going to be made for the guy, not one step closer to the guy. If we were going to trade IQ. Yeah. RJ, we didn't know. But I thought IQ was the one who I thought if we had to part with IQ, we're getting somebody who's clear and cut better than him and who would take us into from playoff team to legit contender. So that's where for me, I'm like I'm a little down about it. But you've said it. You said it, CP. We talked about this a bunch of times. You got to spend money to make money. You got to spend money to make money, and this is what had to happen. I think one of my frustrations is if RJ had ended up becoming the player that we all wanted him to become, there's no need for this trade.
Right.
And then you could use IQ to get that next player. And I think that's where I think for me, I'm kind of like a little bit down. But when you talk about what the team needs, they needed a 3-and-D big wing. They needed somebody who could hit a consistent 3-point shot. they needed this.
Right.
And sometimes you don't get the luxury item when you need to fix things in your house.
Right.
And OG is as big of a need as you are gonna get. And I think Precious is gonna help as a backup center too. But I have my eyes open, man. I have my eyes open. This cannot be the only move. I think the biggest thing about this move was that they kept their first round picks.
Right.
They kept their first round picks, which means that there's another move on the table. So for me, I'm like, okay, if we're making another move, I can be patient. Because at the end of the day, I'm rooting. I love players. I salute to RJ and IQ for their time, especially IQ.
Yeah.
He saved the Knicks more times than I could count. But I'm for the front of the jersey, man. I've been a Knicks fan a long time. I want to see a chip. Yeah. I would love certain players to be here when we get there, but I need them to do what they got to do to win. And if this takes it one step closer, I'm good with it.
And Jeff, and once again, we're talking to Jeff Johnson. He's the host of the Betting Exchange. You can catch it on MSG on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Jeff, you hit it in a couple of ways on this team. Like, I thought so, too. I thought that IQ was going to ultimately be signed and then later on be traded for the big fish, be traded for maybe a Spider Mitchell or for whoever comes about. And so I definitely agree with you there. But then you hit on this. There's a lot of holes in the boat, bro. The wing is a hole. The lack of depth in the front court is a hole. The shooting consistency is a hole. The defense without Mitch now, your center position is a hole. Like, one guy, one big star was not going to solve everything for this team. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. And as I was on my way to SNY Studios to do my guy Dexter Henry's show, our guy Dexter Henry, and one of the questions he was going to go to me was about the star trade. And I'm in the car, I'm like, bro, I really think we're starting to look at this thing the wrong way because Embiid's not coming here. Giannis is not coming here. LeBron ain't never coming here. There is no guy anymore. So you have to keep improving the team. And remember, now your core, as Alex said, is Julius and Jalen. Offensive dynamos, defensively weak, playmaking can be spotty. So they have to address those needs and fill in with players who can fill some of those holes. One guy's not going to do everything, but they need to start finding the players that can do that. And I think OG helps in that regard.
100%, man. And then on another note, why is it that the Knicks got to be the ones to go all in and get names instead of building their team in a competent way and having a solid team that ceiling is raised to a contender? We got to hear about heat culture. Like, I want heat culture to stay in 2023. We got 2 more days. Yeah. We got to hear about heat culture and Jaime Jaquez Jr. and how they can take me and you and Alex and give us 10 minutes a night and we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. But when the Knicks do it, it's all or nothing. And that's why I've been having a problem with this whole 1A, 1B. And I didn't text you, CP. When you was agreeing with the Jet the other day, you shot him bail. And I'm from Queens too. You shot him bail that he did not deserve. Because that was not his argument. Having the A1 guy wasn't the argument. It was that every single player in the NBA has a player better than what the Knicks have, which is wrong, patently false. Right? Yeah. And I think the way the Knicks are going right now, they are building their team. We've seen over the last few years, it's been 2 great players and then a awesome supporting cast that synergistically is the sum of the parts greater than the sum of the parts. Yeah. And that's what they're building right now. There has been Knicks civil war over RJ Barrett the last 2 and 3 years. Now you get to see what the future is like without him.
You get to see
and as somebody who was on the front lines fighting for this man, I can't even remember that all-rookie first team, second team where he got hosed, where he made that team. And he been the prince who was promised since before promises were made. And now, there's a part of me who's like, okay, I hope he does well in Toronto, but we needed to upgrade. And with all the evidence, eye test and analytics, it seemed like he wasn't going to be the guy. I wish that IQ would have been the next move, but if this move takes us closer to where the Knicks ultimately need to be, then I'm good with it. We have to see how it performs now. We have to see how it performs going forward, but you have to spend money to make money. You got to invest in order and you're going to give up players that you love.
Yeah.
Just the reality of this game. And if you're a team fan and not a player fan, this is what we go through. This is what we go through. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate the call. My guy, Jeff Johnson, host of the Betting Exchange on MSG Networks, man. Jeff, definitely appreciate the time, bro. Always appreciate you tapping in.
Love, man. Love. Keep doing y'all thing. Alex, keep doing y'all thing. Stop losing power out there, man. We're going to send you a generator or something, and we're going to make sure you good to go, Al. You already know.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Jeff.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Al, we got other breaking news. We got KnicksFanTV breaking news. We have just set a viewership record on KnicksFanTV. Shout out to TM, man, for sharing the news. We have broken it. The previous record was 59.56, and we have topped out so far at 65.08. So everybody in the chat, give yourselves a round of applause. Definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. Keep it going. Share the video. Share it on Twitter. Share it on Facebook. Text your grandma. Let her know number one show for the fans by the fans is rocking. New viewership record, Al. New viewership record. The people waited,
go, man.
and we delivered.
6.6.
6.6 thousand.
And my guy Jeff was spitting.
Yeah. What'd you think? Rate that call in the chat. Rate Jeff's call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Go ahead, Al.
Hey, he was saying the stuff which I'm saying. I see everyone's like, oh, Alex is down on the trade. Alex is this. Alex is that. I'm not down on the trade. I said at the beginning, it's a good fit for this team. My whole point of the entire thing is that I always thought Quickley was going to be part of a bigger and better deal. He's not that. My question is, who will be that moving forward? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Not tied at the deal. Yeah. I'm just saying, what is that moving forward? Because that was the whole thought process when you go for Donovan Mitchell. You think about any of these other players. Yeah. But look, OG, good fit. Still got a lot of issues on this team. Now I'm looking at the bench saying, Grimes, this is your time to shine. Are you going to step up? Are you going to step up and do your thing? Because
the deuce is loose.
Deuce is loose. Is he going to step up and do his thing?
Yeah.
Because now this roster, the bench unit takes a completely different look.
Huge hit. Your question was who's next? My answer is I have no idea. I also said on I do think they
to know, man.
No, well I still do think that they're gonna go after Spider. I do think they're gonna go after Spider.
So LaMelo's done now. LaMelo's ship has gone insane.
For now, yeah, I think the LaMelo thing is my sleeper pick is done for now. However, I also said on the SNY show, I think this team is going to take a step back. You're going to have some growing pains getting OG in there. I think the bench is going to take a huge hit with the IQ absence. I'm not confident in Deuce as a playmaker. I like his defense. Yeah, he can knock down a 3 here and there. He's not the playmaker IQ was. They're going to take a huge hit there. We'll see what happens with Grimes.
Do you put him back in the starting rotation now for defense, or do you keep him on the bench still? Because you got Dante out there.
You got to see how they flow. You got to go with and see. Maybe you put Dante back on the bench for his experience to lead that unit with heart, because who's going to be that igniter? Who's going to play make? The thing that you liked about Dante is that he's a go-getter. He's going to go after and try to make something happen. The IQ loss, it's a big loss. It's a big loss.
And you lose another person that can control, is a ball handler, man. That was the issue going, like I said, in the Miami Heat playoff series, that once you lost Quickley, it was just on Brunson to bring the rock up, distribute. Yeah. Quickley offers that. Dante offered that.
Right.
Now you're back to just having 2 again. So now you have Dante. And I feel like you can't leave Dante in that starting rotation because, I like Grimes, but he's not a guy who I trust to bring up the rock and then get guys in their sets. Dante has that experience doing that in Golden State. So I would expect that switch to be made again. But then you can also say that I like Dante's aggressiveness in that starting rotation for how he just knocks down threes, man. This is where it's just so there's a lot going on at once when you look at how this Knicks team is, how you evaluate this trade. And once again, it's not saying it's a bad trade, but there's just so many moving parts to it. Yeah, there's a lot.
It's a lot going on, bro, but I'll tell you one thing. You guys don't like the P word. I'm here to be patient with it. Because if you thought that this team, this current core, was going to do anything here and beyond, I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. This team was going nowhere fast. Let's just keep it a beat. I'll sit here and wait.
That.
They're not going anywhere, bro. And I'm not going to sit here and wait. Wait for who? Wait for who?
No, you need to make a trade. You needed to consolidate, especially at the
you got to consolidate. The tier 1A superstar is not there right now. He's not there. Let's just keep it a bean. And so what? We're going to wait year after year for him? You have to address your needs and try to keep it going. look, I'm as big of an RJ and Quickley fan as there is. You guys know that. Some fans would take me up for defending RJ at lengths. I wanted to see it work out here as a homegrown talent. I want to see it work. You got to shake it up. And the shakeup was going to come at a certain point. They weren't going to keep rolling this team out there. This team was not going anywhere. Everybody was scared of being stuck in the middle. You have to tinker with it, man. I just gave you the Boston example. Look how many different guys they put around Tatum and Brown. You've got to tinker with it until you get right. And Boston seems to be heading in the right direction, don't they? You got to keep tinkering, man. And it's going to take sacrifice to do that.
Don't please. Malachi has been. Go watch any of the Toronto Raptors stuff that I've done with Will Lou. Go listen to his thoughts on Malachi Flynn. I need to see more from Malachi Flynn before I say.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
That's a saving grace.
No, I'm not. I don't think about him. All right, let's get to the calls, man. Let's get to the people. Rapid fire. Abdul from San Diego, you up next. We're gonna go through the Discord, then to the phones. Let's go.
Yo, what's up? Can you guys hear me?
Appreciate it, loud and clear. Let's go.
Okay, perfect, man. Well, first and foremost, shout out to you guys, man. Always being on top of your game. Man, my boy sent me a text message. I'm hanging with my daughter, and I thought he put together a collage saying that the Knicks made a trade. So my first source, KnicksFanTV. Yeah. I shot you guys. Man, let me take a deep breath. At first, I was like, not IQ. But then as a Knicks fan since a baby, I understand why they did it. You know what I mean? You got to let go of what we have in order to get us to the next destination. As a Knicks fan, I want to see a championship, man.
Yeah.
I'm about to be 40. The playoffs is good, but I need to see something in my lifetime before I pass away. So if we got to do these moves just to make it happen, I'm down for it, man. I was going to ask you guys this last question. I'm going to go. I got a house full of kids, and they drive me crazy. But my question is, with this move, I understand that this is not going to be our championship team. But what is your guys' thoughts on what the season can look like from what we have today?
Yeah.
Like, do we look like a playing team, or can we make a push to something else?
Yeah.
But I really want to know, like, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Because, man, as a fan, obviously I love RJ. IQ, it hurts, but I have to detach my feelings from the players and put my feelings back into being a New York Knicks fan. My last thing is, bro, I literally just copped the RJ jersey and the Quickley jersey.
Dang.
So my boy said you better return that. So I already put the return in. I got some other stuff coming in. And then last thing, CP and Alex, I know you have the merch on the website.
Yeah.
Black hoodie you wearing. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get it right now, but I see the blue joint. So I'm gonna get the blue joint. I know the blue fitteds. I mean the blue snapback. Let me know when you put those back in because I want to grab that for the game. I'm going to the Warriors game.
What size? What size you want, the black hoodie or the blue joint?
Let me get the blue joint. I want the blue joint because I do want to get a blue hat too.
What size you looking for? Are you saying we sold out?
No. You have. I just copped the blue one.
Okay.
But the blue sweater is an XL, so I know you have XLs on site, which is good. But I definitely want to get that blue hat. So I mean, I don't know if you got to pull some strings. If it's possible, I'll pay a little extra. But I want to rock that when I go to the Warriors game in March.
Okay, I got you, man. Yeah, just hit us up. We'll take care of it. No problem.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Hey, #1 show for the fans by the fans. You were completely correct. Oh, yeah, last thing before I go, brother.
Yep.
Hey, you guys I was dying last night, man. I literally watched the playback this morning about your guys commentating. Look, man, you guys got me through a rainy drive to L.A. It was an hour and 20 minutes.
Yes, sir.
And I laughed every bit of the way.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys, man. Talk to you later.
Play-by-play coming back, man, with Coach Chaz, for sure. Play-by-play is definitely coming back. Salute to my guy, Abdul from San Diego, representing the West Coast Knicks Alliance Road Warriors. That's our guy, Al. Yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out to Abdul, man. Shout out to Abdul for calling in. He's got a busy household, too, and he's making time to call in, CP.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Okay, moving along on the Discord. We see all the Super Chats, people. We're going to get to everything. A lot of people have a lot to say, so we got to get to everybody. Everything will be taken care of before the day is over. Trust us. Freezy on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Let's go.
What's good, Alex and CP? Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear. Where you calling in from, sir?
What's up, man? I'm calling in from White Plains. Shout out Alex, because I know he's from around here, too.
Yes, sir. He's from the hood.
But, man, I'm starting off. I didn't really like this trade. I didn't really like this trade, giving up Quickley and RJ. I think it was a lot. But I'm a little reassured by the fact that you guys maybe think that there's another trade coming.
Of course.
But my only question is, with the assets that we have, what does that trade look like? Because I'm not really seeing it right now. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the call. Big up to White Plains, everybody out in the New York tri-state area. Throw your cities, throw your countries in the chat. We'll shout you guys out. And Al, we've hit another record. 7,000 people in here. Number one show for the fans by the fans is on and pop. We are on steroids right now. Overdrive. This is not it, bro. This is not it. This is not the end. This is what I'm saying. Like, don't look at this OG Anunoby move as the end-all, be-all that's going to bring us, to playoff contention this year. Because like Abdul was asking, I think this team is going to be hurting. I think they're going to have some growing pains getting him into the lineup. I think the bench is going to take a huge hit. The Mitch loss is still going to be big. So this is just a stepping stone for later. I think they're still going to take a step back. Now, what does the next move look like? You still have all your first-round picks and then some. You still have the Fournier contract, who you can use all the way up until the draft, right? So maybe it's a situation where you put in a Fournier salary, 3-4 picks, maybe a Grimes, and maybe that's good enough to go get you a Spider. Whoever it is, you still have a lot to work with. Or how about this? Use your draft picks and get some more depth in here until you're ready to make the next splash.
I think that's the big thing too. Is that the way I look at it right now is I don't even know what big star, and sure, it could change any time, right, throughout the regular season, go into the off season. But I think for the Knicks right now, they have to go back into the draft because they have to get more rookie scale contracts and get guys that can contribute on a low end value and go see who you can continue to bring through the developmental process of Tom Thibodeau, where we're going to be lacking that right now. We got Deuce. Inconsistent. All right. That's why he's where he is on the depth chart.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just curious to see what the next move is, but definitely got to go back in the draft. If you're not going to get that guy this offseason, and it's not even guaranteed you can get that guy this offseason. There's so many things this Knicks team needs right now. And you also got to hope that Mitch also stays healthy. That's another question with this whole thing too, man.
Big if. Whew. Al, check on the Discord. Who's this person with a W on the Discord? Let's go to them to unmute their mic.
W France.
Let's go.
How you doing, guys?
Good, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name is Warren. I'm from Brooklyn. It's my first time calling in. Thank you for I'm always following you guys. Been following you for years. Appreciate you guys very much. All you guys do. Just got 2 points, man. The first point I have is I just don't understand why we were willing to make this trade, right? Giving up IQ, giving up RJ, which was on the table for the Donovan Mitchell trade. And fans were in an uproar and said, that was too much. Yeah. But now we're willing to give up these IQ, who I believe is going to be a star.
How many picks were on the table for Mitchell, and how many picks did they give up in this one?
But again, the picks are fine. Why couldn't we give up RJ, Grimes, and a first-round pick for OG Anunoby? We have 8 first-round picks.
Yeah.
IQ could have been a much bigger part of a bigger trade in the future. He's being highly underestimated. If Knicks fans think that the Raptors are going to allow us to get better without making us give up a bigger piece, they see the potential in IQ. They do. And he is going to kill us for years in the future.
Bro, no, we say that about every guy, man, and they never do. Let's just be real. Man. We've been saying this from Mark Jackson, Mark Strickland on down. They never do. Thanks for the call, man. Thanks for the call. Good luck to those guys, but can we please not make it look like we're kicking all-stars out of the door here? We never do. They were okay. They were the same guys that you guys call in and complain about every single day. How many days these fans were ready to pack RJ's bags for them?
How dare you talk about that? How dare you talk about David Lee, championship-winning David Lee for the Golden State Warriors? I
mean, yeah, they can go to other places and fill roles, but we act like we send these guys somewhere and then they hit that ceiling that we expected them to hit when we drafted them or when we brought them in. Show me the guy where that's happened. We never have drafted. This is why we're in the position that we're in. Because if we had a slam dunk in RJ at number 3 pick, he'd still be here.
That's another lottery pick, by the way, that's just gone out the door.
Another one. Remember that? Remember the dud pick conversations?
Oh, so RJ was a dud pick. I'm glad that you're saying that out loud.
Well, at the number 3 pick, you lost him.
I feel the pain.
Yeah.
I feel the pain for IQ because I think he can be a quality starter in this league. But at the end of the day, the issue is that you got Jalen Brunson here. He wasn't going to start here,
right?
And I think if we're really going to take this back, I think for Knicks fans that have watched Immanuel Quickley developed as a Knick, is the fact that there were opportunities for him to potentially be what you want, potentially fill that starting point guard role. Is that you had Elfrid Payton, Alec Burks, all these other scenarios where Quickley hasn't necessarily got all the minutes, and it's like, man, what if we just gave him those opportunities? I feel that, but look, you got something you got a surefire thing in Jalen Brunson, so I understand the decision the front office made too.
You got Brunson. Let me just fix my camera. You got Brunson. All I'm saying is, somebody in the chat was like, are we saying that IQ doesn't have potential now? No, that's not what we said. This guy said that they're going to come back and kill us, meaning that we're letting all-stars walk out the door. Yeah, if you're going to kill us as a role player, whatever, that's fine. Guys have good games. But the idea that we're letting 2 all-stars out of the door here, I don't see it that way. I think they can both be good, productive players. But the idea that, we're just going to regret this, maybe, but I don't see it. I don't see it, man. All right, Dan in ATL. Dan, how you feeling? Go ahead, unmute your mic.
What's going on, fellas? Y'all can hear me straight?
Good. Rapid fire. Let's go.
Sounds good. Hey, last time I called was when KP got traded. So this is all full circle. Shout out to Knicks Nation. Shout out to you, Alex. Shout out to UCP. Look, I'm going to try and not say everything that you guys already said. I like the trade personally. I think it needed to happen. I think all of us, we have to understand that it's not going to be a home run play every time. I think what I want to do is temper some of the expectations. And Anunoby's not going to come in here and be a shot creator, ball handler type person. That's just not what he's coming in to do. I think he fills in a gap because he plays the role of the second most important role in NBA basketball right now. That's 3-and-D. And you need those type of players to be able to be successful in the next level. I think we all had these delusions of grandeur perpetuated by other media sources that, we're fishing out for these big stars, these big marquee talent stars. We have to stockpile these draft picks, stockpile these players. Look, these 2 draft picks, we have 4 first-round draft picks this year. These 2 draft picks that we have is from Washington, Detroit. They're protected. These are picks protected. They're not as valuable as a lot of people think. So you have to package those with players that are showing us not only just good potential, but we have to package them with proven players if we're wanting to trade. But realistically speaking, we have to have the players that are going to bring in what we need immediately. We can't bank on potential. I love RJ. I got a jersey. I don't know what I'm going to do. Abdul reminded me that I got one up here, but we have to get proven players in here that's going to be able to fit and play a role. And I think Anunoby plays a perfect role next to Brunson, next to Randall. And I think this is a stockpile piece that we're allowing for us to grow in the future. And I think that's where we're at right now.
Stockpile piece. And look, one of my biggest concerns about Anunoby, just in terms of the contract extension, is like, what is his ceiling as a playmaker, as a shot creator? I haven't seen it in watching him. I'll be completely honest with you. The hope is that, as you said, a role. He will fill a role. You needed defense here, man. This team's defense was weak. It's weak. And you bring Brunson in here. He's fantastic offensively. His defense is weak. You need wing defense. We've been saying that since they passed on Mikal Bridges, since they passed on Devin Vassell, since they passed on all these guys. You need front court depth.
No, absolutely. And I think that we need to temper expectations as Knicks fans. And Anunoby's not going to walk into the door and be a 25 to 27 point per night guy. He can develop in that. We would love that. But he's filling a role that we desperately needed on this team that's going to allow for us to build for the future. And I think that's what we needed to do here. So I appreciate the time, fellas.
Appreciate that. Shout out to my 2 cents, man. $20 super chat says, props to Leon. We have a 3-and-D wing. He undid the sin of the 2017 draft. Frank Ntilikina is now OG. We still lose without Mitch, but we're set up for the next move. Happy New Year to KFTV fam. Salute and peace as always. Salute to him. Salute to James Lucas for joining the Franchise Channel memberships. $5 super chat from Darius Thomas. I agree with CP. What is the bigger deal, Alex? There's no superstar coming to the Knicks. Murray can be had for Fournier and a couple of picks. He's talking about DeJounte Murray. You guys still want DeJounte Murray? Let us know in the chat. Mr. Duns says, gonna miss IQ. I agree with Alex. Wish we could see how this new lineup with Block Ness in the mix. I got James Ruggiero. Mr. Q, 9-month franchise channel member. Are we better team after this trade right now? Thoughts? Yeah, I don't think you're that much better. I don't think you're that much better. But again, you got to think about the strategically how this thing is going to look. And I think that's how the Knicks are looking at it.
On the court better? I think fit-wise is on the court better. I think like from a roster construction better, like having too many guards, it's better because now you get guys, I think, more playing time.
Yeah.
I got to see it all play out, man. I like on paper, it's a good fit for OG between Brunson and Randall. Like I said, I would like to see Mitch in that rotation because I think that makes a big difference to how it all plays out.
Yeah.
But gotta see how it plays out, man. It's a good trade, but just gotta see how it plays out.
Knicks in Indiana against the Pacers. They would tip off at 7:30, I believe.
7:30 or 7?
7:30 or 7. Pacers usually start at 7. Yeah, so it's a 7 o'clock game. So early game, Al. So we'll be doing another doubleheader tonight. But, here we go. The fans were looking for him, and they got him, man. Robert Randolph, Al.
Uh-oh. Here he is.
A $20 super chat from Mr. Friday Night Knicks, Robert Randolph. He says, I told y'all RJ was gone soon. Sources reporting Knicks making another trade on January 15th. It's a big deal. So in other words, looks like they're going to be standing pat until the summertime. But thank you, Robert Randolph, for your support and for tapping into those sources, man, and getting on the phones. We appreciate you.
My man threw 1,000 darts and one finally got a bullseye. Look at that.
Salute to Robert Randolph, man. Salute. Oh, man. All right. Got to have some fun with it. Back to the Discord we go. J. Cal, let's go. Jason Calcanis in the building.
What's up, CP?
How
we doing?
Good, man. How you feeling, man?
Good. I'm skiing up here in Lake Tahoe. I got the breaking news on the slopes.
Let's go.
I went right to KnicksFanTV to dial it in.
Absolutely.
Everybody giving the thumbs up. Congrats on the record. Well deserved. Let's go for 10K. Let's go for 10K on the next one, January 15th, hopefully. Let me just speak on RJ. We gave RJ enough chances. He's mid. He's always going to be mid. He's, you watch him for 5 games. He's disappointing in 2 out of 3. He's unbelievable in 1. And then he's what you expect in another. This is an incredible trade because OG is what we need. And RJ is what we don't need. It's a very easy way for you to understand why this is such a great trade. I'll get to IQ in a minute. But just on the RJ for OG. If you're the Bucks, if you're Boston, who do you want to play against? You want to play against RJ or you want OG in our starting lineup? In 100% of cases, they would love to feast and eat and just run around RJ. I know his defense got moderately better. They don't want to play against OG. So look through your competitors' eyes, the people in front of us. They don't like this trade. They don't like this trade because it makes us better. Now on IQ, let's be honest, we weren't keeping him. They didn't want to pay him $25 million or whatever he's going to get, and I think he's going to get it, and it's great. But this is a fantastic trade, and it sets us up for the next one. And we have all of those first rounders. This is A+ in my mind. Addition by subtraction and addition by addition. It's both. RJ is mid. He will always be mid. I do not care what the RJ Hive says. He's a disappointment. And sometimes that's what happens. I think he'll be a great 6th man of the year, some year, but he's just terrible, inconsistent. And if he was going to figure it out, he would have figured it out by now. That's it. Wrap up.
There we go. J. Cal on the Discord, on the slopes, hitting the slopes, took a break to tap in with the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Rate that call in the chat, man. You guys agree or disagree? 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Rate J. Cal's call in the chat, man. I'm just, listen, man. I hated to see him go back to being him. These past 2 months, especially after the migraine, the improvement that you were hoping for, it just hasn't been there. The consistency is just not there, man. And that's why when you guys were asking after his first month, when he went off like that. 21 points per game, 43% from three. You're like, man, as he turned the corner, I'm like, bro, he's given us no evidence that he has. And so for me, I would have to see this not just a full year, maybe 2 years before I think like, okay, this guy's a different guy. It just, he just hit another hot streak, man. He hit another hot streak, but now he kind of went back to being who he is.
Yeah, and that was kind of my whole – that's why because I know people were like, Alex, why are you so tough on RJ? And I'm like, look, man, I need to – if he's going to be the third guy, man, I like to see more added to his game. And I thought he actually did make the turn this season just because the simple fact that you could be good at your limited – like with your limitations as long as you're making the right decisions. And he was doing that to begin the season. But then when he came back, as you already said, he was doing the same thing. Who knows? He'll get an opportunity out in Toronto. We could see if he fits in there, next to Scotty Barnes to open up his game for him. We'll see. But the thing is with RJ is that, like, for now, going on year 5, he's doing the same thing that we've seen him do. And, like, even when during the FIBA games, like, people will get hyped. I'm like, I'm not really hyped. I'm encouraged. And I always made sure I'm like, I never thought he took the leap. I thought he just took a step forward in his development by being consistent. Yeah. He obviously didn't do that, but I was also encouraged. I was never hyped. I was always encouraged by his progress because you watch even FIBA and now there's nothing that he's really added to his game where you're like, oh, look at this mid-range that's very consistent. Oh, look at this. Look at a tween that can get him downhill, Yeah. Or even just like use like to his speed to use like any little bit of like slow pace, get into rhythm. And it's like we still haven't seen that. So look, man, good luck to him out in Toronto. He gets to go home, his country. Gets to represent them for his hometown team.
Yeah, the Olympics coming up.
And going there.
I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy for him. He's a good kid. He comes from a great family. Had a chance to get to vibe with them at the games and at certain events and whatnot. Good kid. And I wanted it to work out for him here because I felt like he had the makeup to make it here. Not everybody can do that. You can't take that for granted. What Brunson is able to handle and what RJ was able to handle here. A homegrown product. I wanted to see it work out. I never thought that the Knicks, once they put him in the deal for Spider, I never felt like they believed in him. And it was only going to be a matter of time before they moved on from him. I always felt like that. And now's the time. But they sent him to me the right situation. They sent him home, right in his backyard, where he can be playing in front of more family. Hopefully it works out for him. He needs that situation where he can, demand the ball, command the ball, play fast, and play in lineups with three-point shooters so that if he does improve as a playmaker, it'll lift up the team. Impact plays, impact winning. So hopefully he makes it.
I just had to pull up because I just wanted to know what is the Toronto Raptors depth chart, and ESPN did update it. Yeah, it's a little wonky right now, but they have the starting rotation as IQ, RJ, Scotty, Siakam, Pirtle, and for those who always want to see RJ at the shooting guard position, he gets to play that.
Gets to play the two. Gets to play the two. Shout out to EJ, $50 super chat. My guy Eugene checking in from the Bay Area. We got Silicon Valley's finest out here, man. We had J. Cal calling in, my guy Eugene calling in with the super chat, rather. He says, it's been a minute since I could finally catch a live show. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. Man, I will miss IQ, and I wasn't sure about this trade, but you convinced me with some good points. I'm going to just wait and see. That's where I'm at, man. Just wait and see. Shout out to Team KFTV. Absolutely. Salute to my guy Eugene. $10 super chat from Daniel Bosajor. $10 super chat. Says, thanks for taking my call. Tough pill to trading away homegrown players, but we have to construct a team based on what makes us the most competitive moving forward, building a culture. Salute to Daniel. We're going to get to all the super chats that come in, people. Trust me. Tricks the Barber, appreciate you, $20 super chat. NY Gooner, $10 super chat, says, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. This is a solid trade that elevates these defensive ceiling of the team and keeps the future of their roster flexible and picks still to use. Salute. Okay, all right, there we go. Who else? Make sure I got all of these at the top. Salute to BK Primo, $10 super chat. Finally, the CAA Mafia makes a move. The roster needs length and shooting, plus all three guys have a dog mentality. He says Jordan Clarkson and Spider are next. What do you think about that?
Jordan Clarkson and Spider. Interesting.
Yeah.
Clarkson would be an interesting ad just because you get more bench scoring in.
Yeah. You need that. You need that.
I'd be open for Clarkson to join the team.
Nah, I'm good on him. Give me Spider.
I'll tell you, you can have both. Why not have both?
Give me Spider. Clarkson would definitely be a cardiac Nick. All right, you keep your
sure, but that's
you
why
keep
he's
your
a bench
Tums
player, man.
you keep your Tums right next to you when you're tired of seeing him chuck 30 times a game.
You're gonna need something like that off the bench, man. Someone's gonna put up shots.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right on that.
I'm not saying for him to be a starter. Okay,
yeah.
He's doing a little too much out in Utah because they need people out there. 6-man. That's okay.
KnicksFanTV on and popping. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. CP the Franchise, Alex Rotaros on the ones and twos. Support our sponsor. Go to BetUS Sportsbook for all of your betting needs. Click the link in the video description and receive a 125% bonus deposit match. BetUS Sportsbook, safe, secure, and fast payouts. Go ahead and tap in. Okay, let's get to Ari on the Discord. Ari, rapid fire. Let's go.
What's up, CP? What's up, Alex?
How you feeling?
How you guys
what
doing?
up?
Good, man. Good to hear from you, bro.
Salute. So I'm looking. I only see 1.8 thousand likes, but I see close to 6,500 people in the chat. So hit that like button for your boys over here.
Yeah.
Doing good work. So hit that like button. But yeah, let's get into it. So I think ultimately the value of this trade will be judged by the contract that OG gets extended. The Knicks give him to extend him. People say that he wants $40 million a year. There's no way in hell I'm paying a role player $40 million a year, right? I'm just not doing that, right? You're gonna have to pay Brunson. You're gonna have to pay Randall. Is this a team you want to go all in on? Is he worth that money? I don't think so, necessarily. However, the team is better today than it was yesterday. Just getting RJ Barrett off the team, automatically better team. Automatically get better team with him not even playing, okay? Immanuel Quickley, you weren't going to be able to re-sign him anyway because Josh Hart stole his money, right? So you weren't going to even be able to bring him back regardless. And from Immanuel Quickley's perception, he wants to run the show of a franchise. He wants to have his own team. He wants to get the keys, right? I think RJ needed a change of scenery. Him and Randall did not work. Quickley needed to get his own keys. He's in a better situation. OG wanted to get out. It's a win-win for everybody today. But you have to always look into the future. I'm not paying OG $40 million, right? I'm not paying him that bread. And, we're still not much closer to where we need to be. Now, I do think Jay Cal made a good point. I think that if you're going to be a contender, you're playing the Celtics, the Bucks. Who's going to guard Giannis? Who's going to guard Tatum? Now you got someone to do it, right? You don't have to use Julius Randle and pretend like he's a two-way player, right? So it'll help the team. I think OG's a good player, very good defensively, right? So it is a good trade. Don't get me wrong, but it's a good trade if you're trying to compete now. And the best part about the trade is that we didn't give up any picks. If you're looking for a way to upgrade the roster, to still have the picks to make another swing, a Donovan Mitchell, a Deontay Murray, whoever it is, you can still do that, right? And you got off of RJ's contract, which had like 3 or 4 more years left, and he's terrible. So I think it was a good trade, but my direction. It just shows that the Knicks are all about winning now. Personally,
they've been that way, though, bro. They've been that way, man. It's for years. It didn't just happen.
I know. But now it's like, we've always been saying it's either Randall or RJ, split them up and they made their decision. And it's like, I'm not going to be satisfied until Julius Randle's traded. But I think it is a good trade. I think we upgraded. I think the chat got it right. A B. I give it a B.
Okay.
But I want to see how much they pay OG. Okay. I don't want to get fleeced and overpaid. But salute to you guys.
Good to hear
Appreciate
from you, man.
Shout out to Ari from Taiwan in the chat.
Yeah.
Salute to you. And, I'm out.
Salute, man. Yeah, salute to our guy Ari in Taiwan as well, man. He taps in literally every show. He lets me know about it because sometimes our settings aren't on to make sure our people over there see it. So I appreciate that, though. He lets me know personally. So shout out to Ari from Taiwan. Shout out to Ari from Manhattan. 6,100 people have voted in the chat, Al. They're grading the trade a B so far. 49%.
That's what I graded as.
Yeah. I'll put B. I like how Christian Winfield summarized it, Daily News beat reporter. They upgraded at the wing. You moved from Quick. It's tough to move on, but the contract thing, were you going to have to overpay and potentially lose him for nothing? You added depth at the 5, much needed. And you keep all your first-round picks. Not done. Tinker, tinker, tinker. This was far from a finished product. Getting OG does not make them a finished product. As I already said, it doesn't move them any closer. But you fit better. You fit better. So
yeah, and I think the theme of today that I have to agree with is that you did take 2 steps back, in my opinion, because you lost depth.
I agree.
But you did gain fit. So that's
I agree with you 100% on that, bro. I don't think this team gets any better this year, significantly, with this trade.
Hey, but I will say this: Leon Rose sticking true to always making trades during the regular season, man.
Yeah, I didn't see this one, man. I didn't see it, man. With the lawsuit and everything, I thought this one was never happening.
There had to been a consolidation, and when we talked about it quickly, like before the season started, this offseason, it was hard for me to believe that you're going to wait until the offseason to move him in a deal, because you'd have to then probably agree to a sign and trade, or you had to match that offer and then do that. But then I just didn't see that working. So there was always part of me that felt like Quickley was going to be traded during the middle of the regular season.
Here we go, Berman. Berman never stops working, man. Mark Berman, former beat reporter at the New York Post. The Knicks are in our worst team today. As much as I found some faults with RJ's streakiness, I graded him in relation to being a number 3 pick. IQ was perfect as a 6-man. OG overrated by CAA handlers. So Berman, never too far. Never too
Still
far
throwing
behind.
rocks from over that fence.
Yeah. And here we go. The return home for RJ and IQ will be January 20th at Madison Square Garden. Get your popcorn ready. I'll be there, bro. I got to be there.
So many Knicks revenge games now this season that we're not playing. Starting tonight.
Obi's trying to get his revenge tonight. He comes to the Garden in February. Here we go. All right, Al, who's this name with the K on the Discord? Let's read their name and get them in here.
Knicks fan for life.
Knicks fan for life. Let's go.
Hey guys, it's Jay from Jersey.
Jay, you back, man. Thanks for the patience. Jay, I felt like you kind of set the tone here, man. We posted your clip from last night's show. Getting the fans thinking about moves, and there we go.
Yeah.
Leon answers your praise, man. So only right for you to weigh in. What's your take, man?
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys pretty much touched it, on the head. I think, I think I'm okay with the trade because, like you said, man, these tier 1A superstars, they don't just get traded every year. Like, you can't wait 2-3 years just to, get a Joel Embiid. So I do think that, we lost bench depth, but we need to position ourselves better for the playoffs, right? I do expect us to still be in the playoffs. And when it comes to the playoffs, depth to me doesn't matter as much. Your starters are playing heavy minutes anyways. And now you have OG who can guard Jason Tatum, who can switch onto Jaylen Brown, who can guard Tyrese Maxey, right? Like, we didn't have anyone to guard the other team's best player. And that's a problem come playoff time. So I'm good with the deal. The other thing I want to say is I think Knicks fans overrate Quickley a little bit. I said I was happy, or I said that Quickley deserves more minutes, but let's not act like he's automatically an all-star player, right? Because I do think he has his deficiencies himself.
Yeah.
Like, Jalen Brunson is undersized.
Can we stop with the Maxey comparisons? He's not Maxey. Great player. He's a good player. I love Quick. He's not Maxey. Let's cut that out. Go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. No. So, like, Jalen Brunson, like, he's undersized, but he's unique because no one has the footwork that he has. No one has the IQ that he has. Like, I don't think Quickley is ever gonna develop the traits that Jalen Brunson has, and I don't see Quickley being an all-star caliber player. I think he's a solid player. So, at some point, you got to make moves. And the last thing I'm gonna say is, for people that are upset, these are the tough decisions that have to be made when you don't have a homegrown star player.
Yes.
We're trying to build a contender by acquiring talent, all the top tier talent externally.
Trades.
Everything's a trade. Everything is a trade or free agent signing. And like to me, that's not the best way to build a contender. I think it's extremely difficult to do that. And the only reason we're able to do that is because we play in New York.
Yeah.
OKC can't do what we're doing. That's why they drafted Chet Holmgren. That's why they drafted Jalen Williams. That's why they drafted Lou Dort, right? So these are the tough decisions that have to be made when you don't have your homegrown star player.
Yeah.
We can point to all the mistakes from the front office. I mean, we know it. You know, Tyrese Halliburton, RJ just didn't work out. So, you know, I think this is just a stepping stone to the future. Yep. And in terms of the other wings that I'm looking to get to, you know, Donovan Mitchell is one of them, but we got to hope that the Suns fall apart. You don't know what happens with Devin Booker. I think he's a CAA connection. You know, he could be maybe down the line, but they definitely need to add to this team. So I'm going to leave it at that. But, yeah, I think some Knicks fans are overreacting, but we'll see how it plays out.
Rate that goal in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. I don't like to throw my own bias in there out. I think he hit it on the head, man. Pause, but I thought that was a great point. This is the toughest part about what the Knicks are trying to do, right? Most teams, when they get into that championship contender sphere and they're tinkering around their homegrown stars. Golden State, the Celtics, Denver, Milwaukee, right? They have their pillar, and then they dump everything out to go get the trade, to go get the next star, right? And they take that gamble. The Lakers sort of. I mean, the LeBron thing was an outlier. This is the thing with the Knicks, is that when RJ didn't establish himself as the guy, you have to figure out how else you're going to upgrade your team. It was going to come at the expense of RJ, IQ, or Julius. One of those, when Brunson came here, one of those three guys, if not all those guys, are going to ultimately get moved to figure out how to get to the promised land. You still there? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. No, I mean, they don't have a homegrown talent. They got talent, but they don't have Giannis. They don't have Embiid. So, yeah. No, I agree. I think that's a very fair take. I don't know if necessarily, like I said, I don't necessarily think it's like the IQ. I think the whole IQ dilemma is just so mixed, because I don't know if it's necessarily thinking that he's a superstar or anything of that nature. I really just think it's more that he's a good player that necessarily hasn't gotten a lot of opportunity. And I think that's where the frustration and the angst is amongst the fan base, where it's like, even this season, it's like he got 24 minutes. Like, he's much more deserving of that after what we saw last season. You had Alec Burks in front of him, where it's like, and that season was a waste. We know that.
Yeah, it was a waste.
Team was not making the playoffs.
It was a waste.
It's a waste of a season. We didn't even see what we had in-house from any of the young players. So I think that's the frustration that you got to incorporate with about Immanuel Quickley, and why there's a big backing behind him. It's like there's a legit, like, as soon as he was a rookie, he added more positive than negative to the team, and he's done that essentially every single season. And it just didn't seem like he always got rewarded for it, for how much work he put in for this team. I think that's the thing that's kind of gets misconstrued about where the value of where there's so much of a fandom for Immanuel Quickley.
Quick put in a lot of work, man. He was a very important piece for this team. Make no mistake, his loss is going to be felt tremendously until they continue to upgrade. He was the defensive signal caller. He was your spark, your dynamo off the bench. He was Mr. Fourth Quarter. He is, somebody in the chat mentioned, don't sleep on his character. Very high character kid. Comes from a great family as well. I got to interact with his family in my travels from home games or away games or wherever I was at, and I will bump into them. Great kid, man. He was obviously shocked. We posted Quickley's reaction to this on our KFTV Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. So he was obviously shocked. But his camp, they were very, I wouldn't say vocal, but they let it be known they were not happy with his lack of playing time.
You can just say it was essentially vocal, man. I mean,
I guess you could say. Well, when I mean vocal is like, not saying it on record, but tweets and stuff like that.
It's essentially on record, in my opinion, man.
I guess that's the new way. Tweets, retweets,
Look,
subliminals, likes. I guess that's how we talk these days.
For sure. And look, I think if you have anyone that's like, not even retweeting. It depends. Like their stuff, liking their stuff. I mean, we already see, like, we know how it goes viral if a player likes a tweet about something or if they retweet something, anything of that nature. But it was known, man.
Yeah.
You knew, and that's why it was not strange when he went on Slam and said, I believe myself as a starter.
Yeah.
He sees himself in a bigger light. So
he's gonna be missed, man. He's
definitely
gonna be missed, man. He's gonna be missed. Yeah. Like I said, you can't sleep on the character of both Quickley and RJ. These were good guys, man. These were good guys and very hard workers. That we're gonna lose. So definitely can't take that.
And keep in mind, and we can go back to what Scott Perry said on our guy Mo's show, right?
Yeah.
The Hoop Intellect podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find guys for New York who have that ability to stay focused in a city that there's so much going on that can be a distraction to you.
Yep.
Yet those guys continually put in the work to grind, whether or not it always transpired on the floor that you wanted to see them move up and progress, but they did put in the work.
Yeah, no question about it, man. 6,000 people still rocking with us on the chat. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boy CP Alex on the ones and twos. As my guy Abdul from San Diego just said, man, get your KFTV merch. Go to shop.KnicksFanTV.com to get yours. We got a restock on the way. We got beanies on the way. New hoodie designs are also coming on the way. But if you need yours now, like Abdul said, he needs his to get to the game. Get your game day merch, your game day Knicks Fan TV snaps, hats, hoodies, T-shirts. The Brunson 50 tees will be getting shipped out this week. So for those Brunson fans that purchased the Brunson 50 tees, those are getting shipped out this week. And salute to everybody for their support. Another announcement, the franchise channel member giveaway for December will be happening tonight. After the Knicks versus Pacers game, come back here for Knicks Fan TV post-game live for highlights, analysis, and caller reactions. But our franchise channel members will have a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to the Mr. ThrowBack store. All you got to do is click join below to join the franchise channel memberships. $4.99 a month. It costs you less than a cup of coffee, or those fake burgers, the murder burgers they give you at White Castle McDonald's. Get your quality content here. $4.99 essentially for a raffle ticket to win a $100 gift certificate. And we're going to be doing these giveaways a lot more often throughout the months. So if you don't get this one, you'll get the next one. And we're partnering with a lot of good partners as well. So we're definitely looking forward to it. Once again, salute to everybody, man. My family from Canada hit me right away. My guy Ty, shout out to KFTV Security Ty. CP, where you at, man? We need the show. Shout out my guy Elite checking in from LA. It's been a crazy day, man. It was a crazy day when this news hit, man.
Insane.
Yeah.
Just crazy. I just sent out a tweet and just so many responses to how fans feel about this trade, man. It's positive, negative, in between. I think those are all fair emotions to have for this deal, man. I'm just curious to see how it all plays out, man.
Yeah,
I'm curious
likewise.
it's always about the next move it's always about the next move when a trade's done, because when you do something like this where you consolidate, you add a positional need, but yet you're giving up depth. It's always what's the next move to put you in that right position moving forward.
What's the next move? Make your next move the best move. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Remember, Knicks versus Pacers postgame show will be back on at 9:30, but we still here rocking, man. Let's get a couple more calls.
At least we took them away from the Pacers, CP.
Yeah, right. Virtuoso on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Virtuoso. Yo.
What's good, CP? Alex, salute to Knicks Fan TV.
Yep.
All the Knicks, all the commenters, man. Please hit the like and share, man. Great show. So yeah, man. I just wanted to say that this trade really took me by surprise. I'm as shocked as you, considering that they have this court battle over some Spygate business, man. It really took me by surprise, but also it surprised me in the sense that the Knicks front office are looking assertive in making this move, because really the Knicks are undersized, and really what this trade was about was trading perimeter shooting for size and shooting. I can't get mad at this trade. But the IQ one really stung a little bit.
Yeah.
RJ, I just wanted him to kind of raise his production value to this team. I really do. But I just see a chasm between him and the first 2 picks of the 2019 draft. I can at least get 21 per game. It just wasn't enough, and he was an inconsistent shooter, but great player in my eyes. Great teammate, but sad to see him go in IQ. And IQ, I really liked him, man. But he just wasn't the answer to Tyrese Maxey. I'm sorry, no, you're not getting played. You're not getting enough minutes. You couldn't find your role in Tibbs' offense, But coming off the bench, man, you were electrifying, man. I'm gonna miss him too.
Likewise.
But so yeah, man, this next 4 months is gonna determine who wins this trade, man. Because I really do see this team making a playoff push behind Brunson, who I feel is 1A, regardless of what they say. But yeah, we just need help up front, man. Because Mitch is gone, Jericho Simpson's gone. We just need to we need reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Get the troops ready. Because these games are coming in easy, and we don't get enough home games. But hey, our Knicks fans are on the road with us, man. And
Likewise.
Salute to this team. So
Appreciate
to you guys,
man. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Virtuoso on the Discord. He's down and out, man. He's definitely going to miss those guys. Likewise. Shout out to my guy, Abdul. Shout out to Kawanda Rutledge. They just copped their merch. Just copped their hoodies on shop.KnicksFanTV.com. Shout out to Lucas Monaco. He just copped his Brunson 50 t-shirt. Shout out to Lucas Monaco for the purchase. Al, the statement from Knicks President Leon Rose. We're ecstatic to welcome OG Malachi Precious to the Knicks family. OG's a complete offensive game and ability to defend multiple positions will enhance our team on both ends of the court. Malachi and Precious are well-rounded players that will complement the hard-working, talented nature of the group. OG Malachi and Precious are perfect additions to the type of team and culture we are building in New York. We want to extend our deepest gratitude to RJ and Immanuel for their time in New York. RJ and Immanuel both began their professional careers in Knicks uniforms, and their contributions both on and off the court have had a great impact on this city and organization. They represented our organization with class every day, and we wish them nothing but the best. So there you go. Statement. Fans always want to hear from the president, right? So there you go.
More paper.
There you go.
Digital paper, that is.
Yes. All right, let's get to some more people here. We're just going through the reactions, man. We're just going through the reactions. RJ going home, man. There he goes. Broadway Barrett. He's no longer my guy, Broadway Barrett, man. I gave him the nickname. That was my guy, man.
Well, at least he still will be wearing number 9 in Toronto, and it quickly looks like he'll still be wearing number 5, according to the Raptors.
Okay. All right. There we go. Yeah,
Is OG Anunoby now your guy, CP?
He's got to earn that, man. He's got to earn that. You can't just jump in and claim a hive. You got to earn the respect. Go out there and get a defensive stop. You know what I mean?
I'll say this to you. Now that the guard rotation's opened up, CP, it now has opened up a door for somebody to make a return home for you.
Oh, yeah. Hey, and as the Super Chat said, we're going to get to all the Super Chats, have no fear. As the Super Chat said, it is time for Grimes' hive. He's got to step up. This is big. They've cleared out the rotation for you. You could be next on the conveyor belt. You got to step up. It's time. No excuses.
Where would you go with Grimes, CP? Do you put him back into the starting rotation to add more defense, or do you leave him on the bench to let him try and flourish as a 6-man and develop as a player, whether it be being an initiator on offense, just being a guy who can create off the dribble? Do you do that, or do you put him back into his 3-and-D role?
It's a good question. I almost think they might have to think about putting him back into the starters. Just because off the bench, I want more experience around McBride or Malachi, whoever handles the backup point guard duties.
Oh, so you're putting Malachi over Deuce. You don't even think Deuce gets
No, I think Deuce being a Tibbs guy and being in the system now for 2-3 years, he's going to be de facto backup point guard for sure.
Yeah.
Flynn, I'm not impressed with him, but if he does impress, it's got to start with the defense. Maybe he's that guy. But what I'm saying is, I think you have to surround Deuce with a bit more experience and guys who can run some offense themselves, whether it's Hart or also DiVincenzo. So maybe that works out there, and maybe you put Grimes back into the starting unit. It'll be interesting to see.
And the other factor is that you have that relationship factor with Dante and Hart, right? Like they already know how to work off each other when it comes on to the playing on the basketball court. So that makes sense too. But I can also say, like, if you're the Knicks right now, like that starting rotation, like you're still going to be competitive. I don't know, like if you're not expecting to go anywhere this year, this roster's not expected. There should be no expectation for this roster to go that far into the playoffs. Maybe second round. After that, we're talking about luck. We're talking about a lot of luck, in my opinion. But if I'm the Knicks, I could also lean saying, let me go give Grimes this opportunity to develop because he struggled with that starting rotation to get his shot off.
Yeah.
And maybe you just want to keep that aggressive nature that Dante brings and say, hey, let's give Grimes that opportunity to grow into that 6-man role.
Hey, here's the thing. Sandman in the chat. Shout out Sandman in the chat. He says, don't sleep on Rokas. I know some Knicks fans are going to head for the exits now. So some of the fans that are down on this trade are even more down. But, hey, you got a draft and stash pick. Lighting it up in Barcelona. Is this the time they convince him to come through? Hey, we got backup minutes for you. Or is he looking to come here when he's the guy and when he's like, 34 and he's done with Europe, done killing in Europe as a guy? Who knows? I'm not sure he'd be coming.
Baby Goran Dragic, apparently.
Yeah.
So, hey, he's doing well over, playing Euro Cup. So,
yeah.
I don't. Do you? I don't even know if you want to make that because I don't even know. I think he'd probably look at the situation like, you got Deuce over there, man. What am I? But am I have to compete with Deuce now?
I think bottom line, Grimes, you got to step up now. Virtuoso did have an interesting point. He said he was surprised by this. And me and Macri were talking before we went live on SNY. And he was asking, what was the last Knicks trade that made you feel like this, like today? I'm sure everybody today was stunned. There's not a person out there that was stunned. This was shocking. What was the last Knicks trade that made you feel like that?
Oh, where you're trading up a valuable player.
Well, just that made you feel like, yo, this is crazy. Like, what happened here?
I can't even think one right now, man. I don't even know which one that. Wow, what's yours? What are you thinking?
As an acquisition, there's no doubt the Marbury trade.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one too. I'm not sure.
Marbury. I'll say for a couple of reasons. Personally,
I mean, the biggest one to me. Oh no, I'd say the biggest trade for me would be Melo, because obviously, like, you get the superstar in here. But are you talking about like
shock
getting
value?
Like shock.
The reason I say shock value is because the Melo trade, the rumblings were there from even the year before he came. And then the weeks leading up to it, I mean, it was like, Knicks and Nuggets, here's the trade parameters. So, like, you had time to, like, know that this trade was coming down. The Marbury trade, number one, we were less and less in that 24/7 news cycle. So it's not like you're easily getting trade rumors. And no one saw that coming. And so I remember exactly where I was at. I'm watching ESPN tickers, like, Knicks make a blockbuster trade, Marbury. Penny Hardaway is my favorite player. Even though he was watched at the time, I still loved it. That to me was crazy. And then departure-wise, the KP trade.
KP trade is definitely up there. KP trade actually that's probably the closest one actually to shock value, because the trade request and everything all happened within a day. You know what I mean? Like that's probably the closest thing where it's like KP's like, I want out. It's like, damn, like, maybe we can fix this thing. Nope.
Yeah.
He's gone, guys. 2 hours later. Out of here. And that one, I'd say, because I think when you think about, like, the trade, right, and the shock value, like, shock value wise, I think KP is totally up there. But I think when you think of, like, when I add to the reaction of a trade, like, I don't feel it's uneasy, because like I said, I like OG Anunoby as a player.
Yeah.
I think it's a good fit. I already expressed it. My gripe is like, I thought IQ would have been in a bigger deal, and like you give up bench depth. Obviously, it's 2 steps back to move a step forward. But it's like when I think about a player that I'm like, okay, we'll be fine. I think that's where I'm like, we'll be fine just because of the construction of the team. That's where I'm like, that's where I lean towards Mel, because it's like, all right, we're getting a superstar in here. He can cure a lot of things, even if the roster's not complete. For this one, it's not saying OG would clear a lot of the issues that we have, but the way that the roster's set up, I still feel fine because he adds a positional need. But like shock value and just like that, I think I gotta go with KP trade because that just happened within such a short time.
Good points, man. Okay, so to everybody in the chat, man, we cooking, we rolling. We're gonna wrap soon, but we will give you guys more opportunity to talk about this because this Knicks Pacer game is not gonna be much to talk about. I don't see much of these guys gonna be able to play tonight, and so we'll have a chance to talk about that later. Cody Glock, ahead on mute your mic, rapid fire, let's go.
Can you hear me, man?
Light and clear, man.
It's been a long time since y'all heard from me, man.
Yeah,
but
man.
I tune in every day, man. Shout out to BetterHelp, man. I average 0 turnovers with BetterHelp. I take care of my mental health profusely with the utmost friction in my mixture.
There you go.
Because that's how I've been feeling, man. What just happened? I don't know. No more Lil Thuns.
What happened?
The Lil Thuns is gone, B. But man, RJ, you my heart, man. I always pull through for you, baby. You like my life's charm, man. Where it's born, Thun. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's the last time we gonna hear that one, man.
Last time, man.
It's crazy, man.
Yep.
You feel me? Quickly, Lil Thumb, man. You go get your increments, baby. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry, man.
Yeah.
But as far as the Knicks, man, OG Anunoby, injury prone and whatever, but we had to do it, B. We had to do it, B.
Okay.
Feel me?
Yeah.
Like if we didn't do it, it was gonna get messy. But let's talk about what we do got now.
Okay.
Malachi low key, he alright, low key.
He's alright.
We go call him Pressure, because no man can call next man Precious. Bullet, 5 for that. Run through. But never mind that. We got a core now. We got Tibbs guys. We got defensive guys. And I think if we could get another piece, I'm not going to say a Dewante. Dewante would be all right. He played defense. But if we get another piece, we solid. We don't got to go into panic mode just as yet, man. Rapid fire, man. Shout out Nicky Pipes, man. Shout out Chuck D, man. Shout out everybody in the chat, man. Shout out the Discord, man.
Salute.
Shout out everybody, man. Salute, man. I'm out,
Cody
man.
Glock. Cody Glock in the building, man. Salute to Cody Glock. Absolutely. Definitely appreciate you, man. Cody Glock on the check-in. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. CP and Alex on the ones and twos. Recapping a blockbuster trade, man. Some of you guys woke up to the news. The Knicks have traded RJ Barrett and Immanuel Quickley to the Toronto Raptors. Who said these two teams wouldn't make a deal? And a good deal. To some. And because they get OG Anunoby back in the deal. So we are reacting to it. We are taking a caller reaction to it. Let us know what you guys think. Shout out to McAllen McGlure, Al, checking in. Just copped a KFTV tee and snapback. So shout out to McAllen McGlure. Looks like they're in the armed forces. So, appreciate your support and appreciate your service as well.
What is this lineup going to look like tonight, CP, against the Pacers?
Man, this OB revenge game, we giving these guys a lot of advantages here, man. We giving them a lot of advantages, but we got to get right.
So right now, because OG can't play, Precious can't play, and Malachi can't play, it's going to be Brunson, Dante, Randall, Hartenstein, Josh Hart, Miles McBride, Grimes. Do we see Evan Fournier action tonight?
Do we see Evan Fournier? Hey, listen, we got to get that contract ready for another trade. Do we see Evan Fournier tonight? Fournier Hive, are you guys out there? Is anybody from France in the chat? Are any Fournier fans in the chat, man? You know what? We did our city representing earlier, but put it in the chat, man. Throw your cities, throw your countries in the chat. We'll shout you guys out. We'll pay attention this time. The chat was going crazy. It was going on steroids. Couldn't keep up with it. So throw your cities, throw your countries in the chat. Let us know where you guys are tapping in from. This is Knicks Fan TV, man. We are a worldwide community of Knicks fans, Knicks haters, and everything in between, man. This is a safe space for all of you. If you want to come here, you want to watch quality NBA content, we have quality guests. Evan Fournier himself has been on the show. RJ Barrett has been on the show. We got a number of players on here. So make sure you guys tap in. Once again, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel, and support the machine. We're going to read some super chats before we close the show. Jack Spade on the Discord. Unmute your mic. Jack Spade.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
What's up, man? My name's Jack. I'm a first-time caller calling in from Maryland.
Okay, just speak closer into the mic, sir. Speak a little closer into the mic.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
All right, man. I just got a few questions, man. First of all, I just want to say I appreciate what y'all do, man. I tune in every day, or at least try to.
Thank you.
If I can't catch y'all live, I catch y'all when I'm at work. Replay game. All right. Okay, the OG trade, man.
Yeah.
Of course we gave up Quick. I'm not too mad that we gave up RJ Barrett, but the whole Quickley thing, man. What are we going to do now with points off the bench? Like who do we? Quickley was the first man off the bench.
Yeah.
What do we do now with points off the bench? I get the OG defense. It makes our starting lineup much better. I think we should put Grimes back in the starting lineup and let DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
I think we should let him run the second unit.
Yeah.
Give us some points off the bench. I think Grimes would be better in the starting lineup. But where do we go for buckets off the bench, man? Alex was saying Alex made a lot of great points. I think Quickley was really who they wanted in this trade. I think Barrett was just almost a toss-in. I think Quickley was who they really wanted in this trade. And I just don't know what we do at the backup four. We still have Josh Hart playing the backup four. We got Tibbs out there. Gibson out there looking like he's out of breath every 2 seconds.
My guy,
I just don't know what we do.
My guy, Taj, man. I said,
until
bro.
Mitch gets back, man. Like, I don't know when Sims comes back. It's just not looking really good. And then we still got to pay OG.
Yeah.
We got to pay OG. They're talking like he wants 30 to 40 million. Like, that is crazy numbers. We can't do that. Like, so I just don't know where we go from here. And, okay, this is the point that Alex made.
Yeah.
Okay, we got all our draft picks, but we don't have any young players. Who do we trade to go get somebody now? You can't just give up 5 first-round picks and no players to go along with it.
Hey,
so I just don't know what we do in the future, man. I just don't know where we go from here. I like the trade for our starting lineup. It gives us better balance. The efficiency is there with OG, but I do think Barrett's going to go to 22, 25 points per game now. Quickly is going to kill if he gets that starting role as the point guard over there.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they're going to kill us in the future, but I think it's a move we had to make.
Had to. Appreciate it, man. Hang in there, man. Hang in there. He's got a lot of questions. I just don't think there's logical answers for right now. I think this team is going to be hurting in the onset of this trade. They're going to be hurting. But it's not done yet. Just like you didn't see the OG trade coming, there's more on the way. That you can bank on.
So what do we do with this continuity banner that we started the year off with?
It's still there. It's still there. You just tinkering, man. You got to do roster tinkering,
but I
bro.
mean, like we have a lot of returning players. I'm just like, people are like, you got Hart playing this, starting in the lineup. OG has to now get acclimated to being this. You got Dante replacing Grimes. Coming off the bench. It's a lot of moves. You're now promoting Miles McBride apparently. So I'm just saying, man. I'm just being a little facetious. But anyway, I think the one thing though, moving forward with this team, is that what we can't take for granted is that starting the season off with an established roster is impactful for how a team moves forward, right? And even though like we had the gluttony at the guard position, there was still a familiarity for how a lot of things ran.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be a lot of on-the-fly learning too. We saw that with the Clippers, even when they added James Harden. Granted, that's a bigger move because you're adding another all-star to a group of all-stars, MVP caliber players as well to do something. So different because you're adding a role player, but I wouldn't, it's going to take some time for this group to gel. I'm just going to say that.
Sure. Sure. We're going to get to the Super Chats, people. If you did submit a Super Chat, we appreciate the support. We're going to get to those near the end of the show. We just want to keep a good flow here for this show and not just turn it into a read-along. But we appreciate all the support. Trust me, we're going to get to the Super Chats. Al, also want to shout out Josiah Green out of Cypress, Texas. Just copped himself the black KFTV hoodie. Shout out to Josiah Green. Thanks for your support. Hope we didn't put too much of his info out there. You know, the boys might be after him. we didn't get the full address. And you just said, you know, he's
no. You just also ruined Christmas for some people who do that KFTV gifts for coming under the Christmas tree. CP.
Shout out to. I listed like 4 wifey's names, and one dude was like, "Bro, you literally just revealed my entire Christmas gift."
Darn you, CP.
Listen, man. Sometimes I get excited when the people support, man. What do you want me to do, man? What do you want me to do? Speaking of Texas, shout out to Lopez 104 franchise channel member checking in from VA Beach, Al. You got the city shout outs on your chat?
Let's see.
You got to scroll up.
Ooh.
We got Danny Lynn, Trumbull, Connecticut. Shout out to Wally Flower from Romania. We got Jadino Dean checking in from Coffs Harbour, Australia.
Shout out to Muted Growl, who's joining me in the bean. He says Boston's in the house. We got Aiden Wilson from Nova Scotia.
Okay. Salute to Aiden, man.
Yeah.
It's a little nippy out there. Nova Scotia. I've never been out there. My cousins and them from Canada rep it. It's like a vacation spot for them.
We got Lima from Cabo Verde.
Yep. Salute. Yeah. Okay.
Patrick A. from Toronto. How are you feeling about this trade?
Yeah. Yeah, my cousins in T-Dot saying that, T-Dot is tapping in. They watching us. They sending him the KFTV links. So definitely appreciate that. Shout out to our guy.
So wait, CP, did you say that people outside of Knicks Nation tunes into the show too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, man, that's why we ask questions about both teams, all right? That's why, because we have people tuning in from both fan bases.
Talk about the other show, man. We got the people here to watch, man. Talk about the Game of the Week preview, man. What do we, talk about it, man.
This is what we do, man. Game of the Week preview, whether it's on here or not. We just had our guest today talk about the Raptors. But look, Game of the Week, that's an opportunity to learn about the other team. We talk about Knicks 24/7 on this channel. But hey, sometimes to get better insight about the Knicks and to learn about other teams, learn about where they fit in the league, is to learn about other teams too. See what other similarities there are. What are they going through? How do they value themselves in the league? Because then you can kind of gauge like, oh, this is where the Knicks fall into the entire NBA. Yeah. So that's why I love doing the Game of the Week preview, man. That's why I love asking about opposing teams again, that intel. And come on, we always break down the matchup. We always get our Knicks fix in. All right, that's what we do around here.
We don't want to make this, just a Knicks echo chamber. We want to learn about other teams. We talk ball over here. We talk basketball over here. So
if you want even more ball, go over to the NBA Report.
Go over to the NBA Report, man. So we guys got you covered. NBA Report, we go live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We have great guests. So far, we've had Kevin O'Connor from The Ringer, Immanuel Hassan from the Le Batard Show. We've had David Aldridge. We're working on some more guests from ESPN. We've had Worldwide Wob, Rob Perez on the show. So we've had a number of distinguished guests. Alex Kennedy was a great guest for us as well. We've had Brian Scalabrine on, Jamal Crawford, Quentin Richardson has been on. Those are friends of the program, so they support the machine. Justin Termini from NBA Radio, the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D. The list goes on, man. The list goes on. We getting it popping right now. Okay. Let's get to our guy Ian Begley, Al. Ian Begley dropped a clip on Twitter breaking this thing down. It's about a 3-minute clip. We're going to play the Begley clip and then get to the Super Chats before we wrap. Let's hear from Begley and his thoughts on this on the trade.
The Knicks and Raptors had a conversation earlier this month when New York was in Toronto about an OG Anunoby deal. Toronto then was down in the G League showcase in Orlando, talked to a few other teams about an Anunoby trade, and then came back to New York. And on Saturday, this deal was consummated. Knicks obtaining OG Anunoby and Precious Achiuwa and Malachi Flynn in exchange for Immanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, and a future second-round pick, a valuable one that's coming from Detroit in this upcoming draft, sources confirm. So now with RJ Barrett going out, Immanuel Quickley going out, I'm told that the Knicks feel like there's a bit of a consolidation on their talent. They also feel like they have a little bit more financial flexibility in free agency this summer and in trades because they shed a little bit of salary, so that leaves them further from that apron that they're hard capped at. And obviously they love the idea of adding OG Anunoby, very good defender, shot, I believe, around 40% from three from the corner, 7'2" wingspan, versatile, can guard at least 1 through 4, so gives them a fantastic defender to go into that starting lineup. And also, when you look at R.J. Barrett specifically, maybe it gives Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle a little bit more room. Because R.J. Barrett, I thought he filled in that third role between those three players really well. But OG Anunoby maybe needing the ball in his hands a little bit less. And on R.J. Barrett, Knicks drafting him number 3 overall in 2019. I'm told that he loves New York, and he loved the idea of remaining in New York. So I'm sure it's a little bittersweet for him. But if he was going to get moved anywhere, I'm told that Toronto obviously is an ideal place because he's from there. It's his home city. He plays a big role for the Canadian national team in the Olympics. So I think I'm sure he's excited about going home while also not really wanting to leave New York. On Immanuel Quickley, obviously Knicks did not agree with him on an extension prior to the deadline before the season. That always made it a little more likely that he was going to end up on another team. And I'm told that the Knicks, internally, there was concerns among some about their ability to re-sign Quickley and also re-sign or sign to new contracts players who are currently on the roster. Finances were a bit of a concern there. So I think that played a part into why Quickley was moved. And then you look at Anunoby. Obviously, he's going to start. What does that do to the starting lineup? DiVincenzo coming off the bench, and Precious Achiuwa obviously gives the Knicks depth with their injury issues at the 5 spot. Malachi Flynn also obviously giving them depth in that second unit. But I wonder if Deuce McBride now creeps into the rotation, regular rotation with Immanuel Quickley now in Toronto. So a lot to dissect for the Knicks here, a lot of decisions to make for the Knicks here in the wake of this Anunoby trade. But one team that was not involved in the discussions felt like the Knicks probably should have given up more draft compensation. So they were surprised that Knicks didn't have to give up more draft compensation in that trade. Knicks obviously having a bevy of first-round picks, their own, and owning 4 additional first-round picks in the future to work with on different trades. I mean, I don't think they're done. I think this was maybe one of 2 bigger moves that are, I don't want to say in the plans, but I think general framework of how they're thinking. And so I don't think they're done. They still have assets to work with in terms of their draft picks, some other players. But today, it's OG Anunoby coming to New York, giving the Knicks a very strong defender and a strong perimeter shooter.
All right, Al. That was our guy, Ian Begley, friend of the program. Salute to the SNY family. Salute to S to Ian and the guys. Happy New Year. Your thoughts, man?
I think Ian hit a lot of the talking points we discussed on, man. And I think the big thing for me right now is the next move, right? Because Ian pointed that out. He said how he was shocked on how it didn't require more draft capital to get OG Anunoby. But what's the next move is always a question, as we talked about. But I think Ian hit everything on the head, man. Like, based on where the player stood, the fit, everything else, Miles McBride situation. There's a lot going on, man, which is why it's a tough thing to break down, man. A lot of guys going out. You get a big player coming in OG Anunoby. So, all right, like, it's a big role player coming in and just helps the team. So,
yeah.
What do you think that next move is? And here I'm gonna throw a little spice to this right now, CP, because now we got the tinfoil hat conspiracy theories cooking. Apparently, DeJounte Murray deleted most Hawks posts and has a black profile photo. Is he the next move for the New York Knicks?
Nah. Not until they are eliminated from the Spider sweepstakes. They're not leaving that post to put in for Murray. Spider's gonna be next target. Then they figure it out after that. I don't think they go get Murray. You don't want to, you depleted your war chest a little bit just in terms of young players that you can trade now.
Mm-hmm.
You still have your first-round picks, which is great. Now it might cost you a little bit more now to go get Spider in terms of draft capital. I think they look there before they look Murray.
And I know you brought up Evan Fournier and the ability to trade him up until
the draft.
But do you think another deal happens even sooner before the deadline. Because I think the risk is that you get to the draft and then it's like, well, you either got to, because it's a team option he's got, you either extend for another year to make value of that contract.
Yeah.
Or you let him walk, you get some money back.
See, I didn't, when we were asked that question yesterday, I didn't see it because I couldn't see a trade like this happening. But now that they have traded RJ and traded Quick and that salary, especially from RJ, I don't think they make another tinker move by the deadline involving Fournier's contract or draft capital unless it's for a bigger piece. That's why I say, that's why I look at the Spider thing.
Or do we move the binoculars from Cleveland and from Atlanta and go further out west and go look at a team that is in the middle right now? You know, their big three isn't necessarily working because one of them is constantly injured. So one guy may need to move on out of there, CP, who's also CAA agent, a client, in Devin Booker.
Not yet. Not
yet.
Ishbia is not going to do that yet.
Yeah.
That's a couple years away.
You think that's a couple years away? You don't think that's like one flamed season and then it's just like, oh my goodness, what do we got going on here?
Ishbia already took a big risk in terms of trading Mikal Bridges in the KD trade. And Mikal Bridges and depth and draft picks for KD. Took an even bigger risk in going all in for Bradley Beal. Well, not really all in. They made a tinker in terms of moving CP3 and his contract, and they ultimately got a good talent in Bradley Beal. How it all fits together, we'll see. But I say that to say I think they will have patience with their group for a little while longer before, destroying and rebuild. They still got Isaiah over there in his ear, so they still got a couple more weird moves to make before they decide that
Isaiah.
Hey, Isaiah's
is he
like
a
his
plan
chief
for
consultant.
James Dolan?
That's the final.
Is he a plan for James Dolan?
That's the final.
You know what we should do over here? I think we should rebuild after this one season. I hear there's a great team over in New York.
I don't trust this guy, Booker. I don't trust Booker, man. Isaiah, this is the final straw for Dolan. Isaiah gives it all back by sending Booker to the Knicks. That would be funny.
That would be great.
Yeah. That would be funny, man. So to everybody in the chat. All right, let's hit the descent here. Conscious Professional on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, CP, Alex, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear. Let's go.
Awesome. I am so happy today. I feel like we got rid of the worst contract in the NBA with RJ Barrett. As much as I was supporting RJ, it was just giving me like bad vibes, man. Like after that migraine, he just couldn't get it together. And I was really getting depressed. I was like, this has reminded me of like 90s Knicks where we have like no future here because like we just can't get it together.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I love Quick. I'm sad that we lost him, but I think, as Alex said, 2 steps backwards, 1 step forward. We at least got that wing. If we can lock OG down, for 3 or 4 years with the contract extension, now we'll see what we do in the draft, or if we trade for DeJounte, or if we trade for Donovan. It's going to be good. And one thing that we have to remember too, with Jalen's and Randall's contracts expiring, like these guys are 2 all NBA caliber players that are making less than $30 million a year. So now this kind of gives us some flexibility to kind of see what we can get in the free agent market too. So I think this was a good present move and a good long-term future move as well.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Good to hear from you, man. And pleasure to connect as well. Conscious Professional. All right, Angel from Philly, go ahead and close us out. Let's go. Rapid fire.
Yo, what's good, CP? Can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear. Let's go.
What's good? Salute to the show. Best show on TV. So make sure you hit that like button. What's good with everybody? So for me, I think it's a win for the Knicks in terms of this, right? Because last year, it was reported that last year that Toronto wanted 2 first-round picks, 3 first-round picks for OG, right? So the fact that we didn't give up any picks at all, that's a win for the Knicks, right? And now you still have enough draft picks to get either one or two other players. So kudos to the Knicks for that. When it comes to RJ and IQ, appreciate all the work that they put in for the team. But if RJ was that star or superstar, they would have never pivoted to Randall, right? It would have been a little bit more easier to get off Randall. But because he was so inconsistent, this is what you got. So, for IQ, he was never gonna resign here. Whether if it was 80 or 100 million, he was never gonna keep coming off the bench his whole career. I mean, he said it in multiple interviews that he wanted to start. So there's no way that he was gonna come back, and there was no way that he was going to be cool with the same role, right? I mean, he started Elfrid Payton over IQ. So come on, guys, let's be real about that. So in terms of who we got back in return, we got a solid wing player. Those who don't know Precious, he's a good rotational player. He could play both sides of the ball. He could shoot, and he hustles. So, this will move Josh Hart back to the 3. It's, better for the team. The bench is a little bit weaker, but now we got to start pushing for the narrative. Go get Donovan Mitchell on this team. It is perfect for this team. And to close the game out, if you have Brunson and Donovan Mitchell on the same team, that's a nightmare matchup. We got a wing. If you want to get a backup wing, maybe look at a Sadiq Bey to come off the bench. But all in all, this is a win for the Knicks. And, salute to you guys. And it's always a pleasure. And it's good to hear from you. And shout out to everybody in the chat. You know what it is. It's your boy Smooth Angel from Philly. I'm out.
Angel from Philly tapping in on the Discord, man. Great to hear from you as well, man. Happy to have you back on the show, calling in and contributing. Thanks for tapping in, man. It's Angel from Philly, Al. Wow, what a show. What a day. What a day, man. And we still got more to come. We're not done. We're basically going to take a dinner break and come back and tap into this Knicks.
I was supposed to go play basketball, CP.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the record, Al, remember we broke the viewership record today. The final number?
Yes, sir.
7,785 people. 7,785 people checking in on KnicksFanTV YouTube. We broke the record by over 2,000 people. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Hey, this is it, man. Hit your subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and make sure you tap in with us no matter what it is. Trades, news, or we just, shooting the breeze. This is the #1 show for the fans by the fans, man. This is what we do. We break things down, we react to it, and we take your calls. Most important thing. The reason why we say for the fans, by the fans, because this is the people's show. And as I said earlier, Al, this is the only show where you get callers to call in and react to the news and the topics of the day. And no, I didn't mean to put down the Twitter space, but it's a different feel what we do here. Everybody has their lane, but it's a different feel. This is what we do for you people. And the benefit of the Discord is it also operates as a 24/7 chat. And that's what we want as we build the community here, right? Okay. Now let me make sure we got all our super chats. Salute to Big L. Salute to Redman's MagFed Games. $5 super chat says, think the trade was necessary. Gonna miss Quick. Maybe we can scoop him up back later. Not happening. Let's keep making moves. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. All right. Salute to him. Salute to Aaron Lazenby. $10 super chat says 2 questions. What is the best next move? And number 2, how much do we pay to re-up with OG? Well, what do you think, Al?
Can't be more than what you're paying Brunson and Randall.
Yeah.
But the thing is that with this move, right, is that you got him in-house. You have him. You can now sell him why he should stay in New York. But I'd probably say he's going to have to cost somewhere like 25. You're going to have to pay him if he's going to be a starter. I just don't see maybe max 30. If it's 40, it's going to be that's stupid. I don't think any team would pay him 40. He's not that level of player.
Yeah,
but you also got to consider that like the contracts are going to go up because of a potential new TV deal, right? So we have to think of what the percentage of the cap would be when he does sign.
Yeah. No question
What are you
about it.
thinking?
Bro, money-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in 25 range. 25, 27-ish. We'll worry about that. We'll criticize them when that ship gets here. Can't worry about that right now. We put all our energy into the trade. We'll get to the overpay later on, man. We'll get to the overpay later on. Richard Pilsky in the chat said, no, it's 7,000. When we said 77.85, that was concurrent. So that was watching live at one time. But the total views, I mean, this thing is going to go well into 50, 60,000 by the time we're done. So, again, thanks for everybody for the support. Okay. Nick Davidoff, $5 Super Chat. Salute to Angelo. Join the franchise channel members. M. Rivera, 4396, $5 Super Chat says, hope this works out. Hate trading homegrown talent, but hope this isn't the last move. By the way, where is JD? JD will be back on with us starting January 5th. Back on and hosting on KFTV. So shout out to JD. Shout out to Sherman LeBlanc. $10 Super Chat says, I'm going to miss IQ. Del Will, time for Grimes to grow up. $5 Super Chat. $10 Super Chat from Dino says, does Frenchie get new life? Firepower off the bench. Bookmarked by defenders like OG and Grimes. Hey, it could be. It could be, especially tonight. Especially tonight in Indiana, as it looks like the Knicks are going to be a little bit shorthanded here. So, it could be. Shout out to Remy Adigjon, $5 Super Chat. Says, the casual Knicks fan that only watch highlights and look at the box score are upset. Love RJ and Quick, but our team is way better defensively. Shout out to Remy, franchise channel member, and sent their first Super Chat. Jets NY, $10 Super Chat. Salute. Daniel Bolsajor, appreciate you. NY Goon, appreciate you. Eugene, appreciate you. Shaq Gunn. Del Will says, like the trade, but who will be the alpha for the bench unit? Great question. Mr. J. Russ, franchise channel member, says, love Quick. Well, Brunson is our guy, and he would never reach his full potential. Happy for him. We have RJ a lot of years. He has not upped his game. Great trade. We get out of the contract, keep the money, and draft. Shout out to Jub. Robert Randolph, salute. RGT, salute to RGT. W trade, love the team, not the players. Isaiah Jackson said, $5 Super Chat, which is, we acting like everyone is going to become the next Jordan. Tired of waiting for players. They have not shown they are all-stars. Obi wasn't, neither was Cam. Jesse Conover, $10 Super Chat, says, what's your thoughts on Precious Achua? Also, use the Gollum voice when saying his name. That's a Lord of the Rings reference. The precious, that thing, you know.
Yeah, I know. I got you.
Okay, all right. That's around your time. Look, I think it's good depth. We needed it behind Mitch. They needed to make that move. You get a nice, athletic, tough, skilled big, and a guy that's gonna play defense. Let's do it. I'm here for it.
My precious.
that was good, Al. That's your favorite show. Favorite movie. Ray Matos, $5 Super Chat. Is this a turning point for the team? New identity. What can we expect for the rest of the season? You hope so. I think this is certainly a building block. You had to address your defense. It was not going to be good enough to win meaningful games. And I hope this is a step in the right direction. Maybe 2 steps back for 1 step forward. Gotta be legend. A 25,000 Costa Rican cologne. We're rich, man. Says, salute Knicks Nation, a move we needed to make. RJ was not consistent enough as a 3rd overall pick. IQ's play this season boosted his value to a point where it would cost us a lot of money. Now we have the wing we've needed for years. Big trade incoming. Tricks the Barber, $20 Super Chat. Appreciate you. Swavey, appreciate you. John Fadian, $5 Super Chat, says, what about the rotation tonight? What will it look like? Okay, here was Fred Katz on who's available for the Knicks tonight. I did put it up on the Jumbotron a little while ago, but we'll put it up again if you missed it. They won't have Daquan Jeffries because he's been waived. That was the Knicks chick's one of her favorite plays. Sorry. Salute to Daquan. Thanks for your service.
Favorite player. Oh, no.
Yeah. So available is Brunson, Dante, Hart, Julius, Isaiah. That's probably your starting 5. And Miles, Taj, Evan, and Archie Diacono. There we go. That's who we going to war with. Quick and Grimes listed as questionable. Robinson and Sims out. So there you go. That's your rotation.
Oh, my God.
Evan, we're back, baby. We are back to let it fly. Let's go.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's go. I'm with it. Victor Barahona, $5 super chat says, good trade for the Knicks. RJ is one of the most inconsistent players I've ever seen. He's the same player he was 3 years ago. So that BK Primo, username 3. Says, as $10 super chat, as much as I'm going to miss RJ and IQ, I think overall this was the right move for the Knicks. I have a feeling that the Knicks aren't done making moves either. Shout out to Rhyme Animal Chuck D. $12 super chat says RJ had a reluctance of being a third option. RJ to me is a 15.7 rebound, 5 assists, 3 steals, lockdown defender. IQ is going to cook OG better gel these next few weeks so the birds will roar. He's absolutely right on that. KFTV, can he handle it? Can he handle it? Hey, good question. Great question by the Rhyme Animal Chuck D, man. Great question. You know, and he says, and he asks us to set the scenario for another trade soon. Absolutely. Mr. J. Russ, franchise channel member, says, great move. RJ has let us down. We not paying quick with the money and draft capital we still have available. Great trade. Russell Whiskey, $5 super chat says, OG is an elite multi-positional defender entering his prime. The trade makes the Knicks better. Props Leon and company. Bomani UFG says, here in Toronto, they feeling like they fleeced us again, not knowing they're going to have to pay IQ to stay and pay RJ for inconsistent play. We won. Unlimited Unbox, $5 super chat says, championship teams win with homegrown talent. Name a team who's won without it. Tibbs is still our coach. What is going to change? That's a Pistons pick. That's fair. You know, that's what we said, the challenge of building the way the Knicks are building. Let's see if they can do it. You guys believe in Julius? You guys believe in Jalen? They're part of the solution. But there's still another guy, man. They're going to build this thing like the NWO. Brandon Guest, my guy Brandon, says, if I'm reading between the lines, Leon may have proposed to drop the lawsuit in lieu of keeping a first-round pick. This was cutthroat. Leon proved he ain't scared. I don't know. That'd be interesting, though. I'm not sure. Mr. Q, are we a better team? Okay, I think we got that. Are we a better team after this trade right now? Right this second, probably not, but in the long term, I think they will be. Shout out to James Ruggiero, Mr. Duns, appreciate it. Darius Thomas, appreciate it. Rico World Peace, good trade. RJ needed to go, but can we re-sign Anunoby? I think they've already got a framework in mind. They wouldn't have done this deal without it. Kobe, young Kobe, I get what CP's saying, but are we the only team that don't know how to draft works? Seeing other teams draft and develop their own superstar is excruciating. It's hard to see the vision of the future. Got to pick the right guys. Look at the Detroit Pistons. We ain't the only team. Look at the Detroit Pistons. The owners of 28 straight losses. And Cade is a guy, but their lottery picks are very, very questionable. And they've had better picks than the Knicks. Shout out to Steps, a CP spitting facts. Big wing defenders, well needed. Shout out to my guy Ty, KFTV Security. $20 super chat says, IQ becomes the Knicks killer you can't hate. Gonna miss his defense and happy energy after floaters and threes. Not gonna blink about RJ. We got a true 3-and-D wing that can shoot and defend 1 through 4. Now it's time for the next move. This ain't over. Jasper St. Jock, $5 super chat. Leon Rose is panicking because the media that adored him now are writing hit pieces. He jumped at the chance to do anything. Bad trade. History tells us early, move on now, and that's it. Shout out to Steve, $10 super chat. I believe there's another move. Do we trust Brunson, Dante, OG, JR, and iHeart to take us deep into the playoffs? No. Leon got to use them picks and players for that star. P.S. We still have Tibbs. Not worried about that. Get the players first. Worry about the coach after that. Christian B, $5 super chat says, not done. We have some upcoming draft picks for 2024, either using them for us in a trade. Let's see. Steve also says, sounds like a deal was IQ for OG and Raptors was like, add RJ and you got a deal. Toronto needed a point guard more than another small forward. Let's see what happens. James Lucas, salute. J. Cal, salute. My 2 cents, salute. Yo, Ed says this definitely feels like a setup move to get Mitchell. They get the size, defense, and shooting they would need to get in that starting lineup. Sad to see Quickley go, but these are the casualties of war. He gets it. JR, $10 super chat, no crying over here. RJ underachieved all the way around. Quickley will be missed. OG is highly rated, defensive small forward, and 6th best overall. Now go get DeJounte Murray. Let's go. St. Nick's NYC, welcome to the franchise channel membership. Raymond Jimenez, $5 super chat says, CP, I'm scratching my neck out here. What do these trades do in the long term, and how can we get a solid point guard? What is our draft capital priority right now? Either make the splash or keep drafting. You still got all your first-round picks. They're in a good spot. Marvin from Brownsville, salute. Welcome to the Franchise Channel memberships. Unc Paulie, welcome. Casey Priebus, welcome back. And Chef Guns, welcome back. Did we miss any more super chats? Shout out to Hospi, salute. He says, let Leon cook. He says, the way I see it, it's OG's a win now ad versus IQ's potential to be great, which he will be. Brunson's 27, Randall is 29. Got to push the window. It's fair. Ryan Mammal, Chuck D, salute JD. He's KFTV's Jimmy Butler. right. Salute to Above the Rim, $5 super chat says, Alex, we talked about how something needed to happen. Did Randall know about plans? He changed agents to stay close to RJ. Leon made the hard move. Okay. All right.
Above the Rim.
Yeah. Remember that this show is also available in audio podcast format. No reason to miss it. Check us out on all major podcast platforms. One more time, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys tonight for Knicks versus Pacers postgame show. Salute our sponsors, BetUS Sportsbook. Hit the link in the video description and use their services for a bonus deposit match of 125% of your bonus. And copy your merch, man. Shop.KnicksFanTV.com. Salute to, we did just get another order in here. Who is this for the order? The order is from Ivan Diaz. Salute to Ivan Diaz. Just copped his KFTV snapback. Ivan Diaz out of Passaic, New Jersey. Salute to you, man. So we'll be getting that out to you on Tuesday for sure, man. So that's that. Al, great show. We'll see you guys tonight. Knicks versus Pacers postgame live. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Viewership record. #1 show for the fans, by the fans. We out of here.